This is the How Is He podcast, a deep dive into Carlow Soccer with Podge and Papa, proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to episode 44 of the How Is He podcast. Joined as always by my co-host, Paul Papa Dowling. All the usual stuff to get through this week here in the fantastic facility, Papa, in Ampify Studio.
Great, isn't it?
In the middle of Carlow. How
Ampify.
lucky are we? And we also have a guest with us, a man who played underage for Newark in a side that won everything in juvenile set up in Kilkenny. He also played Kennedy Cup, representing Kilkenny, where they finished. They were the second place winners, right? As in from 9 down, which is a massive achievement. He also played for Stella Maris in Dublin for 4.5 years, and he represented Ireland under 15 levels numerous occasions. He then came back and played for Newark, Strefford, and Hanover, and is currently still playing for 35s. Or with 35s with St. Felix. He started coaching. This is a long intro. See me taking a breath. He started coaching in 2015 with the Hanover girls side, and he guided that group to an SFAI final in 2019. He was also an integral part of getting the girls' academy leagues up and running. I can testify for that in 2015. And he was also head coach of Wexford Ladies under 19s for 2 years. He's still coaching, and is involved at that level, at juvenile level, with St. Felix. And he was also the man on the line when Carlow Academy Gaynor Cup squad won the Gaynor Cup in 2023, which in my opinion is a massive achievement.
Some achievement, isn't it?
In Carlow Soccer.
Jesus Christ.
A massive welcome to Alan Smith. Alan, how are you?
Very good, Podge. Very good, Papa. Thanks a million for having me on.
Good stuff.
We have questions for you as per. So what we're going to do first, Papa's going to go through the results, yeah?
Yeah.
Where do we start? Newark, Beckelry, what was the score? 8-0?
I think it was 8-0, yeah. We were well up at half time. 8-0, I think was the final score in that. Easy enough, I think.
Big statement, right?
Yeah.
Made a couple of signings there as well, I see. Chris Blake going into them.
And Davy Dye
going into them as well, yeah. Strengthening them up there. Kilree, Papa, what do you think?
It's going to be tight with them. I thought Byrne would come back after winning the last game against Vale. I heard they were unlucky now against Collection. It was a good game, but they could have got something out of the game. But look, it's going to be tight down the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Parfield's win against us, obviously.
Yeah, can I go through the results? Right?
Sorry,
do you want
boss.
them, do you?
No, go ahead, man.
Fuck's sake. It's carried away every week.
Gibberish Joe here is able. Come on.
As Papa just done the results there, lads. Hello. Yeah, Craig bet Bagnus home 1-0. Danny missed the penalty, I heard, and I heard Matt Kelly was absolutely unbelievable in the goal.
And Craig, unbelievable clearance off the
And
line.
off the line as well,
Very,
yeah.
very late in the game, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Bagnallstown.
That puts Craig right back in it now, right?
Yeah, well, I think so, yeah.
Puts
Never
them
write
right
them
back
off.
in it, no. Parkville, big win against Sheep, Papa. I was at that. What do you think?
Ash was just one of them. We didn't get going in the first half. Didn't win any battles at all. They deserved to be leading at half time, but then we tried to play a bit of soccer in the second half, but the pitch was a mess. It was even the subs coming on for both teams trying to get an impact in the game was terrible. It was slipping all over the place.
Penalty in the first half?
I thought it was a penalty in Aaron, yeah, definitely. It looked like it was a foul, and any neutrals I was speaking that was over at the far side said he was definitely clipped. So disappointing overlap.
Yeah, I seen him giving Pop. I can't lie to you. I did see him giving, if it's outside the box, it's a free all day. So I don't know how it's not a penalty if it's inside the box. Like, I thought that game was an absolute war.
It was a battle, yeah. Parfall were well up for the game, though, in fairness.
They were. Mitch Kelly was very good.
Mitch Kelly was very good. I thought
Jake was very good. The goalkeeper.
I thought Bulmer was the best player in the field for them.
Very good.
Yeah,
Athlete.
he was very, very good. Played very well, in fairness to them. It's just
It's a good game, though.
Yeah, it
I
was
wouldn't
a good game,
I wouldn't say you were bad.
No, it was just a sloppy goal gave away. I didn't get going in the first half at all, and I said if we got in at half time and try and get them going a bit, but there was 44 minutes I think to score, which is a killer.
Yeah.
And then try and play a bit of football on that pitch, which was a disaster. Like, you know, it was just slippy, mucky, and crap. Really, being honest. So
Bring on the Astro, huh?
Bring on the Astro, hopefully. Yeah.
Tully's Travel Division 1, Slaney 3, Dolman Celtic A. Big win for Slaney. I seen Dominic Byrne rock into Carpenter Sunday after I went over there a bit of grub after your match, and Dominic rocked in head to toe in Slaney gear. I swear to God, he's a mannequin in the front of JF Sports. And I said to him, how'd you gone, Dom? He was as coy as ever. I knew inside he was screaming. He goes, I think you won 3-1. Who is playing?
I think
Dolman. I said, go way over that. You think you're delighted you bet them 3-1. Pats at Mill Celtic 2-1. In Division 2, Newark B3, Felix B1, Dolman B2, Creighton Yard B3. In the Division 3, Burn Celtic B5, Joseph's 3. And in the Ladies League, Nerney 0, Vale 5, New Park 6, Parkville 1. On to the Saturday night. In the Youth, into the Saturday in the Youths, Felix 4, Bagnallstown 2. In Division 2, Youths, Vale Wonder 7, Newark 2, Ballymurphy 5, St. Pat's 0. Big win for Ballymurphy there. St. Pat's team weren't going too bad, I don't think. He had a massive win in the LFA Youths, 5-0
big
over
goal,
Gurry.
5-0. Got the draw today. They're at home to Suncroft.
Kildare?
Yeah, so that's what we're playing in the next round. I see my brother text me. Great win, Aaron got a hat-trick. Played really well. I was talking to Kieran after the game and he said they played better against Tulla from Clare the week before. He said they didn't really play as well as that last week, but won 5-0, so it's a testament to them.
Yes.
Great, look, bounce back.
Is that chap playing, is the Horan chap playing for you? Is he still youths?
James?
Yeah.
No.
He's a good player, isn't he?
Good chap, yeah.
So he's just out of youths though, is he?
Just gone, he was youths last year, yeah.
He's a very good player. I like the look of him, Pop. In the under 18 ladies, Nurney 2, Vale 2. Saturday night in the Premier, St. Pat's were 8, Vale Wanderers 1. I was at the match. Pat's very good. Vale came with a serious aggression and they were celebrating tackles and they were well up for it, and it's a testament to a group that can battle that and put A in the back of the net. So I think we played very well that night, to be fair, and I think Vale will want to start picking up a few points now because they can find themselves sucked right into that side of the...
There's Burn, Kilree, Bagenstown now to be beaten again, and Vale is the 4. I think Parkford are well fair now after beating us, so they're the 4.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the 2 go down.
I don't know. I'll get clarification, I'm sure. Yeah. But 1 is definitely going down anyway, I'd say. And Burn Celtic 2, as you mentioned, and Collection 3. Then Division 1 on the Sunday. Or this was the Saturday as well, was it? Oh, sorry, it was the Saturday. Sorry, Alan, we'll get you in a minute, don't we? Oh no, sorry, I'm done.
It was, yeah,
that was the week before.
St. Felix beat Ballymurphy.
That was the week before, yeah, 10-0, yeah, on the Saturday night. No, Alan, we're to you. How are you? How's things?
Good now, Podge. Good.
Thanks so much for coming on. We do genuinely appreciate it. We have a couple of questions for you. I want to start here. Earliest memory in football. Talk to me.
Euro 88.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
How did it affect you then?
Showing me age there. Just listen, just...
I can remember as well, Al, so we're all right.
I'm only a young chap. No, just remember watching the match at home. Like, we lived down the country. We lived in Kiltegan at the time, and just 2 channels. But just watching Ireland beat England and the buzz with Ray Houghton scoring that goal and the celebrations. Just,
were you a football fan? Like, were you a football fan?
I was football mad. Yeah. Like just Spurs fan. So again, that's probably my other earliest memory. Someone has to be. That's probably my other earliest memory. Then would be Spurs and Coventry in the cup final. I think it was 87 or 89. 87, yeah. And then Spurs lost 3-2, so don't know why I should have went with Coventry maybe. But just that game just captured my imagination as well, and just seeing, just watching live soccer, you just be in awe of what's going on in front of you.
John Grizovic, I think, played in the goal for Coventry, got man of the match, I think.
He broke his nose 19 times or something, didn't he? Grizovic, down through the years.
Handsome.
Was his name? What do you call him?
Grizovic, is it?
Yeah,
Steve Grizovic.
Steve Grizovic,
yeah. I never thought that name would ever be mentioned on this podcast. Steve Grizovic.
Alan's bringing up the dinosaurs.
Unbelievable. Talk to me about, so obviously that planted, you fell in love with the game. Where do we start playing? Is it on the street? Is it in the field? Or
it's just in school, like I said, I grew up in Kiltegan, so there was no soccer clubs out there at the time. There was no league to play in, so literally just playing in school, playing with friends and stuff like that. Then we moved to Carlow when I was 12, and again just mad to get going. Like, the first game of soccer I ever played was actually for the Prez. Just started in first year, and playing the CBS, and sure, I think Jordan was in goal. He was about 5'3", and Ronan Donnelly
he's still 5'3".
Ronan Donnelly was up front. The high ball came in. Jordan came out. He was in the goal at the time. Jumped as high as he could anyway. Got nowhere near. I think he got up to barely got to his shoulder, But that was it. I actually played a half a season, or the end of a season, with St. Pat's.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then after that, then I played Gaelic with the Blues and stuff like that. So I ended up joining New York then. So that's really kind of where it started for me.
You were late enough kind of going to it then, right?
I didn't like under 12. With the school was probably the first competitive structured soccer match I'd played. Like,
as secondary school though.
Yeah, in secondary school. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you play in a team? You didn't play in a team soccer.
No, never played.
Team.
Never played team or structured. Never played a proper soccer match.
Where did you play in the first game?
Centre midfield, I think.
The boss straight away. Look, throw me in the mixer.
Where was your favourite position? Where did you like to play?
Look, when I was younger, I had a bit of pace. I loved playing it wide. Just love the kind of, trying to take it out on one view. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that.
Yeah. Do you know what dawns on me there, Alan? Right, see the way you kind of started that a bit late. Say if that's now, with the way academies start earlier, you're probably missed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because you're only starting to play in first year.
Yeah, but if you look at it now, Podge, you know yourself and being involved in coaches and academies and clubs and stuff like that, like you're looking for this talent at a much younger age now.
Yeah.
Like all the clubs have these
9 and 10
little
years
kickers
of age,
academies and all that, and they're starting at 6, 7, 8 years of age, and you have your stronger players identified and all that. But like I think it was a different era back then. Like you know, the leagues were a bit like, you know, they weren't as developed as they are now and stuff like that. But no, 100% I agree. Like that, if you're starting off now, you might even get a team to take you.
Honest to God,
you know, unless
honestly.
you went in did a bit of training. And
like if you
yourself.
went in at 12 or 13 years of age now, like even at a club, you might find it hard to get in.
You have to do a trial really yourself, don't you? I've one go here to impress, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you don't impress, no, I looked at him, he's no good.
Yeah.
You could have just having a bad game.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
Talk to me about that Newark team. That's a myth in Carlow, that Newark team, isn't it? They're like they're up there with Walkerstown, that Newark juvenile team.
Very, very good, yeah. But sure, Andrew Corden was in that, was he?
No, he wasn't. No, he didn't play with Newark. He played with Pats.
He played with a bit of Newark as well, did he?
No, he didn't.
First team,
maybe when he was old. Yeah, maybe when he was older.
Against him in the cattle march.
Yeah. No, I remember I don't know how we ended up playing Pats. I don't know if it was in a league or a cup competition or something like that. But we played St. Pat's and Andrew was in goal at the time, and sure, we lived across the road from each other.
That's right, yeah.
And he was slagging me all day in school. I said, "You're not going to score on me. I'm going to get the boys to break you up and all this kind of stuff." So I think I went down the line anyway. I went to stop a ball from going out anyway, and I came back to meet a 2-4. So yeah, but I was slagging him the next day because I got a hat trick and we won 5-3. So.
yeah. There was a right good side though. You went deep into the OC competitions every year.
I know we did. Yeah, like we were always there. Last 8 or the quarterfinals, last 16 of the SFAI Cups, and you know, like even the Kilkenny League back then was competitive. Yeah. You know, like you go down there.
We bet Kilkenny
No, I know. We like the 2 seasons I was with Newark there, we won the double each season.
Yeah.
And then I used to play up. A few of us used to, Gavin and Davey and Anto. A few of us used to play up with the older team. So you know, you'd be going kind of every weekend or maybe twice a week. So
were they a good side as well?
Yeah, they were a really good side. Yeah, sure.
Pa was on that, was he?
No, Pa was a bit older than that. He had Ken Kavanagh, Leo Whelan, Fergal Bulger, Mickey Burke. You know, it's just Eddie Nolan. Some serious players there as well. Like, you know, and
Burke,
again, I was only thinking about like Wally. Like I think our midfield three was Wally Walker, Ken Kavanagh, and Fergal Bulger. The 3 boys would be tough as nails, but back then they were all serious athletes.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
so Fergal was some runner, wasn't he?
Fergal went on and won All-Irelands in athletics and cross country and stuff like that. And so the 2 boys, Wally and Ken Kavanagh, went on to be, you know, peripheral figures in the Blues team there. They had great success. So, you know, serious athletes. But
there were main players in that team. They weren't just...
No, they were there. Like they mightn't have been people you had renowned. You know, you think of as good soccer players, but you know they were fit and athletic, and you know they were win the ball and pass it on. Then, you know. But.
And tell me about the Kennedy Cup then. How does that happen? How did you get picked up? Are you sent in for trials or?
Yes, we had to go do trials as well. So again, the fact that we were playing the Kilkenny League, we didn't qualify to play for Carlow. We had to play for the league you're registered in. So I think there was 7 of us ended up making it. So I think most of the team went down, and I think from recollection now, I know Gavin was there, Davey was there, Mark Carpenter, Sausage, myself, maybe Eddie McGarry. I'm not sure. He was a great player back then as well.
He was very good, yeah.
Yeah.
How was your man came from Kilkenny with the long hair? How played with that Newark team?
Oh, Giddy.
Giddy, was it?
Yeah, Giddy, yeah. I actually got him in. Like the year I left and went to Stella Mars, I rang him. We were good friends after the Gaynor Cup, or the Kennedy Cup, sorry.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. We were kind of rooming up down there, and I was trying to get him to join Newark, and him and Danny Doug joined, I think, the year I left.
Yeah.
And we drew Newark in the quarter final. Yeah.
No way.
My first year with Stella, we drew them in the quarter final. I think it was quarter final. Up in Stella's pitch, but sure.
Did you beat them?
And we bet them 3-0, but it was a strange experience.
I'd
like,
say
you know
that,
what I mean? Playing against the boys you're going to school with, and you're going out and playing training Gaelic and all that.
We were playing with the Blues at the time as well.
Yeah. I was playing with the Blues at the time and all, you know. So funny, like, you know what I mean?
He was Kilkenny, wasn't he, Giddy?
He was from
Kilkenny, wasn't he?
Yeah. Was it St. Canis's or
Freshford or someone?
Yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah.
It was one of the city teams anyway. But he was a good player. He was actually the Irish scouts were looking at him down there as well in the Kennedy Cup. Yeah, they kind of had. I don't know. That's what they were saying. They had kind of him and myself earmarked kind of throughout the tournament and stuff like that. But that just didn't.
And were you winger for
him.
your club and county? Both same position.
Well, I play anywhere across the middle. Like with Newark, you play kind of 3 in the middle. So you know you had license to go forward.
That's
really,
so forward thinking. 3 in the middle.
I know George, with that team, he always played 4-2-3. Even the older team. That's why I mentioned the 3 midfielders there.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it struck me straight. That's why you're playing with 3.
But back then, you're talking about early 90s, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? To be playing
That's
4-3-3
miles
then. Yeah.
There's systems on the television. All matches on the television were 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
Yeah.
I was
Back in
back
the-
then, yeah. If you
Yeah.
strayed away from 4-4-2, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
What's the story with getting picked up then by Stella? So obviously you had a great Kennedy. What's your Kennedy Cup experience? What do you think of it?
It was
At the
brilliant.
time?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like, you know, like, I'm heavily involved with the girls' soccer
Yeah.
now, and like, I love going down to Limerick each year with the girls to the Gaynor Cup. But like, I still remember, and I'd often be chatting to, say, like Anto Caver, Davy, and they'd always remember the Kennedy Cup as if it was yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it was just a brilliant
Did
experience.
you take it
like,
serious?
we did, yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did take it serious. Like, at the end of the day, we were soccer players. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you wanted to go and try and do your best.
So
and-
you're professional for the week, like, aren't you?
yeah. It's just,
That's your World Cup, isn't it?
Honest to God, yeah.
It really is your World
Yeah.
Cup, like.
it was unbelievable. And then to go and you know, I think Dublin beat us, I think, in the first game, but I think we won every other game after that, and we ended up getting to the second place competition, whatever it was called back
Plate.
then. Plate.
Yeah.
It actually was the plate, because I was the captain, and we won the plate final, and there was an old picture at home with the.
Brilliant.
It was actually a plate.
Plate, yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh.
it was. But we won that after extra time. So, you know, when you go down to something like that, regardless of what you win, just coming home with that winning feeling is unbelievable.
But you know what else is? See when you're going on to that at that time. Say you go to the Kennedy Cup now, like you have prep, you have the Galway Cup, and you know it's spoke about. Like you're going down to the Kennedy Cup, it's unknown, like because you picked that year. Now I know the lads might know it, might be telling you, but there's no experience as a player of that going away, you know, staying over your house, preparing together as a team. Even down to the fact eating together and all that crack. Like there's no preparation. Like it's a different world. Like
it is, and even back then as well, there was no winter leagues. You know, there was
Yeah,
no
no,
Galway
that's
Cup.
what
There
I
was
mean,
no.
yeah.
There was nothing to prepare you
it
for
was
this.
just Kennedy Cup.
I don't even think we played friendlies. I
No.
vaguely remember maybe we played a club side in a friendly just to see
Go
what we were
ahead.
about.
So all you could
So
get
it was,
though, really,
it was
isn't it?
literally like, you know, kind of like you're in the army and you're chucked off an airplane and you go there.
Yeah.
Over a
crazy to
helicopter.
think of though,
You
yeah,
land in
yeah.
it. Like, you know, you're 13 years of age and you're down in the Kennedy Cup and
Yeah.
you know, no parents, no phones basically.
Yeah.
And then like, you know.
Towards the setup now though with the food and
Yeah,
it though?
no, it's brilliant.
Jesus
now,
Christ.
like, even
Where
sure-
did you eat in that down there? Stables.
Yeah, stables. Yeah, we ate on campus.
Go away.
Yeah, we don't do that now. When we bring them down, we
Yeah,
bring down
chef.
our own chef.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, so
Yeah, that's that was something that we had to change as well.
that was a big change, wasn't it? It was,
Well,
it
had
was
to
a
be
good
changed.
change.
Yeah, had to be changed. It had to be
We had
because you have
Derek,
you have the
man,
three.
didn't we? Our first one.
Yeah, Derek was the first one.
Derek,
yeah. I think he had Marcella. Was it the first year he went
we're
down?
set it down there now, and Dave Cowan comes down with us every
Dave's
year now.
brilliant.
He's
We
brilliant.
had Dave as well. Dave is
Yeah,
fantastic.
he's fantastic. Comes down with the boys as well. In fairness to him now, he's a really busy man. He's after taking on a few new ventures there
Yeah,
as
he
well.
is, yeah.
And you know, but still he'll find time to come down with us, and then he's down with the Kennedy Cup the week after.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's
But he's I don't know how he does it down there. Like I had 3 Kennedy Cups, 2 Galway Cups at Dave as a chef. I know this is off topic, but I actually don't know how he does it. He's by himself, like, and there's no one ever really waiting. There's no panic. The food is
No,
spot
it's
on.
a-
If a young lad is picky,
It's
I have
unbelievable.
I have this for you, son.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's brilliant.
Well, you'd
like.
remember though.
Oh, he's
Do you
brilliant.
know what I
proper,
remember?
really
Someone
good.
with us, I can't think of who it was, and I don't really, you not eat your food. I don't really like that. So I said to Dave, mix up something else from real quick. Yes, toast sandwich, Sean. Yeah. You eat goujons in a wrap or something like that. Yeah, will you? Okay, stand by.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, he's
5
very
minutes.
good. I have to
not
say.
as too much trouble for him.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
no,
He's
it makes
it's
you
a
less
breeze.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a breeze for him.
yeah.
Like.
And he's a gent, like, you know, you'd often get, you know, say when the kids and often get their lunch and stuff like that they're off eating and you're having a bit of downtime, you'd be chatting to Dave, and, you know, he played rugby at a really high level.
Yeah.
You know, he was involved with setting up St. Felix and playing goal with 35. You know, just,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
just
right.
the stories he tell you, you know, he's really,
Oh, he
really.
loves sport.
I love sport, yeah.
That's one thing resonated with me. He's a football fan. Like if we came back in and you were bet, like he was like, can't believe we were. You know, he'd be.
No, he'd empathise with you.
100%.
He's not
Yeah,
under
yeah.
the cook. He's
yeah,
there as a supporter
he's
as well.
there as a supporter as well. She'd be raging. We couldn't get to a game. He'd be like, I
Yeah.
can't get down to see his lads. I had to go on to lunch or something. You know. But yeah.
Good
So, sorry, Pop, go on.
No, I just said he's a good lad, that's all.
So we moved to Dublin. Stella.
Yeah, moved to Dublin. So.
Anyone? Do you know anyone? I know Pat Kavanagh's in Dublin for a while, but anyone else before you from your area? Do you know that ever went up?
Not that I know now, no.
So it was unknown for you as well.
Yeah, I was completely unknown.
How's it
as well.
sold to you and your family?
It's kind of funny now because as a coach now, I'd often offer advice to parents of youngsters, like,
Yeah.
you know, who, you know, League of Ireland clubs would be coming knocking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a good question because when you think back of it, you know, it's the same kind of thing there. Like, you know, we seen your son, like, you know, it was a phone call to the house. You know, there's no mobiles or anything back then. They just rang the landline and was chatting to my mother and father, but sure, they weren't soccer people. They knew nothing about sports, really. Like,
Right.
you know, as in, you know, I think I was down the town, or, you know, I was kind of cycling home with a few of the lads, and my sister came running up, like, you know, some lads from Dublin's on the phone looking to talk to you or something like that. I was like, well, hey, you, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I rang him back, but it was more just like similar to what you'd see now. Like, you know, it was back then, like you said, like, I know Pa was up at Home Farm, Pa Kavanagh at the time. No one else really did it, like, you know. So half the time you'd be thinking, is someone winding me up now? Or,
Yeah.
you know, that's the first thing that I come to your head of your mind. Why are they ringing me when there's loads of other great lads around there, like, you know, that are well able to play and stuff like that. But it was more just sold that, like, it was more like the DDSL was the pinnacle league back then. And
Was
like,
it known?
Ah, yeah. Like, yeah, sure.
Would you have known DDSL before you went to Limerick, say?
And I would have, yeah. Jeez, I was mad into the soccer. I used to get the evening hurl there once a week or twice a week, and you'd see all the Irish. You'd see all the score. You'd be following all the teams. Like, I knew all the names of the clubs before I ever went near Dublin. And
That was great for that evening hurl, wasn't it?
Brilliant, yeah.
If you're into it, like,
that was brilliant.
Great,
gave you
yeah.
all the
I
information.
used to get it, back in the day, yeah. We used to often
I
get
remember sitting in the sitting room in Oak Park there in the house one time, and just sitting there going through all the things, and I just turned around. The father was there watching the news or something like that, and I said, "Hey, Dad." He goes, "What?" So I'm going to be on the Irish team next year, and I was laughing to myself, I suppose, as well. And the fella goes, "Good for you." And I turned up the news.
yeah. That'd be Wally, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Was it only Stella that came and approached you? Or?
Yeah, no, it was only Stella. You know, and like we were chatting beforehand there, like at the time, like players didn't really. I know Pa's an example there, but clubs were. It was kind of the start of that kind of thing. Like Stella Mars were probably ahead of the curve a little bit, where they were starting to see
Broadening
quality outside of Dublin there, and bringing in lads from the country. And you know, they ended up that year. There was a lad from Meath and a lad from Monaghan, Barry Conlon, actually played with Doncaster Rovers for a good number of years. You know, he ended up having a good few seasons over in England, but the three of us ended up joining. And sure, we used to, Stella Mars were called the Culchies for that season. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because they had the three country lads on the team.
Did you have success up there?
The first year I was there, like, we won a cup. The first year I was there, we got to the All Ireland final, the SBI Cup final. So I said earlier, we bet New Walk along the way. And we ended up getting to the final. But look, we played a Cherry Orchard team that were phenomenal.
Where was the final taking place?
Out the AUL complex.
Oh, was it?
AUL complex out there. That's where we did all the training. That was the main place. Like when I was on the Irish team and stuff like that, all the training matches, everything was out the AUL complex.
Setup, isn't it?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Every picture brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Would it have been new enough back then?
Oh, yeah. Well, the Astro in particular, like, you never played in an Astro.
Yeah,
it was a full-size Astro out there, so, you know, and floodlit and everything. Like, you know, you're talking early 90s, like, so that kind of completely kind of, like, you know, what the hell is this?
You probably, at that time, you're like, I'll never get to play an Astro.
But I remember walking in,
It's a dream. Honestly, God, you wouldn't be like this. Astro.
I remember the first time we trained on it with the Irish team, and I had we were used to the nets up in New Oak, like, where they were hung around the top of the goal, like, you know, these ones had them pinned back, like, so you can walk into the nets properly. Now every club in Astro has them now, but back then you're like, just it's like Wembley.
Aesthetically, this is like different level.
Oh yeah, like,
come here.
That's just a net, though. You know what I mean?
It's a net. Getting excited over the net.
Look at the way the nets are everywhere. Yeah.
I thought you were Pat's getting the goals during the summer there. It's them goals that you can walk into. Sure, aesthetically, you think, like, it brings me to Bayern Munich's old stadium straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I know,
I just get that in my head straight away. Anyway, Sinead was talking to the outside about the travel to Dublin, which I'm fascinated by. What, you're 14 years of age?
Yeah, 14 going up.
Up and down Dublin by yourself?
Yeah, up and down, Up and down. So I used to, like, it was good from a school perspective, because I was on the Irish team when I joined Stella. I was on the Irish team as well, so I spent more than half the week nearly in Dublin, because the Irish team used to train on a Wednesday night. So I get the bus or the train up. I get a half day off school, get the bus or the train up, and like I said to you when I was chatting to you beforehand, like Derek Moore, the manager of Stella Mars team, like what he did for me with the 4.5 years I was up there, I could never thank him enough. Like, you know, he was like a second father. Like, he'd pick you up from he'd be working himself. He'd pick you up from the train station or the bus station. He'd bring you out to Ireland training, collect you, bring you back, stick you on the bus. Brilliant. Friday night, then you'd have to go stay up Friday night, because you'd be training with Ireland Saturday morning, and then you'd spend the day, like, you know, stay in his house. You'd spend the day Friday or Saturday with them. Then you get up on Sunday morning, stay up there Saturday night as well, stay up there, and then you go play your match with Stella Mars then on the Sunday, and he'd put you back on the bus or the train.
Was he bringing a group from Cherry or from Stella Maris, or just you?
And it was just me. Yeah, all the other lads lived in, like even Monaghan.
There was more on the Irish squad from Stella Maris.
No. Actually, no. One of the guys from, I was the only one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the time I was the only one. One of the guys, the guy from Meath, Johnny Clark, he was on the Irish team as well.
Right.
So he was, but none of the other players were on it.
Just fair play to him.
Yeah. But listen, he used to reimburse me, like, you know, whatever the train ticket was or the bus ticket was, even when I was coming up playing for Ireland or anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of knew the price, whatever it was, £10 or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
You'd be going anywhere and he'd always take out your hand and he'd give you the 10 or 20 bob or whatever it was for the train, for the bus up and down. But you're like, you know, they'd feed you, they'd put you up. Like I said, I could never thank him enough because he gave me
you digs, like. He's giving you digs.
Yeah, but even the collecting and the dropping and stuff like that.
But do you not find that at this day and age, like,
14 is
like
very
for
young
something
to be
that
on your own, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I've only figured
crossing the road and out to the shop, be careful.
I've
only gone to the shop, man. He's going up on the train to Dublin and he's on.
I've only figured out Dublin about 2 months ago, like, you know what I mean? I only finally went up by myself, got brave enough, nearly 40 years of age. But yeah, do you know what? Dungareens. Come here, like, I just think that's amazing, going up there, 14 years of age, very young. Like, you must have grew up so quick in such a short space of time, like.
Oh, look, I didn't think it was. Yeah, if you call going up to Dublin and I suppose it is. There's a lot of learnings from it when you're young. Do you know? Like I used to struggle a little bit because when I was playing in Carlow, I got on with all the lads, and there was none of this. Whereas there used to be a little bit of, you know, that mentality that, you know, the Dublin lads will stick together a bit more, even when you be playing. And
in Stella?
Yeah, I remember one time, like, I was getting a bit frustrated, and, you know, it was in a match anyway, and I made a fucking perfect run inside your man, and your man looked at me. My own player looked at me, seen the pass, turned out the other way, and ended up losing the ball. And it happened two or three times in the one match, and I just remember.
He didn't pass it because you're from the country?
Yeah, 100%.
Or you weren't dumb?
No, I firmly believe, because there was one or two lads in particular, and I hate kind of saying that, but there was that mentality up there that, you know what I mean, they're coming up taking our places, and some of them might have been friends from beforehand, might have been there before I came, and maybe I was starting ahead of their friend or something like that. But I remember kind of saying it to the manager afterwards. I was like, why wouldn't, like, because all I wanted to do was play and win. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, if I'm on the team, I don't care if a lad's from Kerry or wherever they're from.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
If
he makes that run and I can play him in for a goal, I'll play him in. You know what I mean?
And was it the same with Ireland?
Oh, Ireland was completely different.
Yeah.
No. Like,
none of that crack.
None of that crack. Like, but even like going to the Ireland thing, like, sure.
That must be some buzz.
Unbelievable.
It was, but it was also fucking terrifying. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Who was over there?
A guy called Jimmy. What was he?
Greaves.
Jimmy Greaves.
See, Charlie Leary's 101 the other day.
Yeah, Jimmy Delaney. I think. Like, I was lucky to have an unbelievable coach. Like, he was like the things I learned from him were just head and shoulders above anything else anyone else was doing at the time. Yeah. Like, even, you know, set piece routines and teaching you to play in the 6 or teaching you to play in the 8, and, you know,
this is before coaching courses.
This was like, Jimmy McDermott. Sorry, I got his name wrong there, Jimmy McDermott. But I was really lucky to have somebody like him, and he was one of the guys down. He was one of the scouts down in the Kennedy Cup, and, you know what I mean. He'd make it his business. Like, you know, we'd just be young lads, and you see the FEI jackets and all that. Like, I never really got fazed by any of that. Next ball, you come over and he'd be sitting down beside you, and you're like, well, those things, like, you know, and you're like, hey, a good game there, and you mentioned somebody else, then I said, oh, you did this well, and keep it going, like, you know. But he was real kind of down to earth. But he went down there specifically to identify the players he wanted, particularly maybe looking outside Dublin, because he might have
that probably would have been like, speaking to you, it's like almost like at that time you were a part of loads of firsts. Because say for instance, as you mentioned, DDSL sides would have been predominantly Dublin sides, right? Unheard of anyone coming up from this side of the Red Cow, right? Irish squads, predominantly Dublin sides. So if you think of it as a young lad at 14, I suppose you could pan that bracket as well, Pack, haven't it? Like, you're going to Dublin, that's a first.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Carlow, I'm talking about maybe outside of Dublin, right? Getting into the Ireland squad, like, that's a first. Like, you're probably the first lad. I remember hearing about you when I was coming up. Do you know, Alan Smith played for Ireland. Ireland? What?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They were stuck.
Yeah. No, but still, like, you've done a lot of firsts. Like, do you understand, without, I suppose, becoming professional, the success you had? Like, do you ever look back and reflect and think, yeah, deadly I done that?
I know. Like it was brilliant to do. I'd often look back and say, in hindsight, why didn't I put more into it? Like,
really?
Yeah, I think I didn't do myself justice. Like, you know,
as in to get a career out of it.
Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard because you'd be kind of advising kids now what to do, and I hate telling kids to kind of, you know, focus on one sport and stuff like that. But I was coming back, I was playing hurling, I was doing athletics, it was Gaelic, and sure, you know yourself, you know, most of the time you played up a year as well, so like it was non-stop. It's pretty much burnt out. You know what I mean? Whereas I'd love to go back and say, you know what, Alan, just concentrate on this, and you know what I mean, just focus on the things you need to focus on. Do you want to be a professional athlete? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to play county Gaelic? There's loads of time to do that. You're only going to get one shot at this. That's what I kind of look at. But I suppose like I mentioned the word terrifying there a few minutes ago. Like I never, like, I was just kind of down to earth and I just kind of got on with it. But I remember being told, I was told I was playing for Ireland. And the first day I went up to the
Sorry, where did you see that announcement?
No, I was contacted.
You were contacted?
I was contacted after the
Kennedy Cup.
The final we played down in the Kennedy Cup. Basically come over and told I was
You're in.
I was picked to play for Ireland.
Yeah, brilliant.
And the kind of communication came out about the details and stuff like that. But I went up. Actually, my mother had the whole fucking town told my son's playing for Ireland. You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't she? Fair play.
No, I was like, cop on, will you? So I go up to the AUL complex and there was 100 lads there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was trials. And I went to myself, you know what I mean?
Like the one with the snapper. I'm going home.
Man goes back to the army.
Yeah.
But that was probably the most terrifying thing of the whole lot.
The trial.
But like going up there and the whole town, you know, it was unheard of to someone for to go up.
This was
but then
the first.
to go up, and I said,
like.
I'm going to be home as quick as I come up. Like, do you know what I mean? This is ridiculous. And
Did you feel an expectation on you because everybody knew you were going up?
A bit, like I said, I didn't really take things. I just kind of
you're grounded.
Just got on with it. Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? And I was looking forward to it. But when I got up, I just remember that day going, "Oh my god!" And then I just started to warm up in the drills, and I said, "Listen, just fucking ease yourself into it." Do you know what I mean? Like, ease yourself into it. How, you know what I mean? Regardless of how they're good, I said, like, just pick out the best lad in the fucking team, nail him, and you know what I mean? Do things to stand out. Like,
Did you play in the wing with Ireland?
Yeah.
What was the system there?
There was another terrifying thing because, like, I kept, like, you know, the cut would say from 100 to 70 and then to 50.
Go away.
Yeah. They kept on doing
on a weekly thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, they didn't keep people around for long now.
Go away.
You know, because like at the end of the day, like
Squid Games, isn't it?
because they were recruiting from the Kennedy Cup and. You know what I mean? Just because they were recruiting from the Kennedy Cup and all that, they had players from everywhere. Like, so back then there was no motorways around like that. So
did you already Dublin Island then?
From Kerry and Galway
man.
3 weeks in a row and then say, look, you're gone. But I suppose that the defence kept cutting, kept making the cuts. So you didn't know because they'd be in the dressing room to call out names. And only at the end of it, say we'll see you next week or we'll see you for the next
session. They call out whoever makes it.
Well, no, they used to vary it up. So you didn't know. So you'd be listening out. You get to know a few of the lads and you'd be saying like, all right, he's decent. You hear the list and you'd be listening out to see if your name was on it, who'd be on it. And then you'd be thinking, you know, if they call out Damien Duff, who was there at the time as well, you knew who he was a decent player. So if your name was called out with Damien Duff, but they varied up. They could call out the names and say, you're not coming back. Or they could call out your names first and say, you are coming back. So you just didn't know. And then they kept on whittling it down.
You sure Simon Cole wasn't the manager of Ireland?
But they kept on whittling it down, and then I think they settled at around 30. And then they worked with us for a while then with that 30. Then they cut it down to 25. And then they cut it down to the first 18 for a match day squad.
From the 25?
Yeah.
And then did that 25 then stay together and you kept picking 18 from the 25, or was it just...
I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't really remember.
Did you travel with them, Alan?
Only over to Wales, which was one disappointing thing. Like 3 games I was involved in, 2 of them were home. And the game against...
Oh, what a disappointment.
I know, but I'm just saying, it'd be nice to get over to Spain or... You know what I mean? When you're a young lad, like, it was never out of Ireland. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it was over on a ferry to Wales and back? Like,
so when does the gear and all that come? Like,
only when you're...
Do the 100 kids get a top or even
match day squad.
Oh, just on the match day squad?
Yeah. Now, the great thing about it, which was probably for an underage team back then, you kept your kit. So like when you play for, like, I have jerseys at home, like, do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
You know, the all white ones with the opal, the 3 stripes down the side.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I still, like, you know, I still keep them just as a kind of a memory or something like that.
Should frame them.
Yeah. But I remember I made the match day squad for the first game. to 18. And then we had a larger training block. I think we were there for 2-3 days. You know, we stayed to put us up overnight, and there wasn't a hotel, it was B&Bs back then, or you know what I mean. And I remember there was a goalkeeper from Waterford. he was cursing me because the night before the match, apparently I was rooming with him. I was snoring all night. Young lad didn't get a wink of sleep. I was fogging.
Poor devil.
A good night's sleep.
Yeah. Poor devil.
But then the next day, like, you know, the day before the match, they called out to starting 11. And I was in it, like, you know, and I remember ringing home, like, you know, the B&B had let you use it to ring home, like, you know, reverse the charges.
How long before the match are they picking the team? Many, you know what I mean?
That was the initial squad, like when they went from, say, 100 down to 25 or that. Yeah, that was over maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
when you're picked in the team, it's what, 5-6 hours before the match?
And it's the day before.
Day before, so
you're trying to absorb it. Yeah, so I rang home that night. And I just told him that I kind of started in it, like, you know, and like I suppose the one claim to fame I probably have from the whole thing is that, like, I started in the first match, and Damien Duff, like, he came on as a sub for me at half time, or not at half time, into the second half. I think I got about 55-60 minutes, and he came on and got the last half.
Was he a psychopath then as well?
No, I actually roomed with him when we roomed together when we were over in.
Was he a psychopath then?
That's to say, he's the madman though.
This is a strange individual. He was so focused and so dedicated. Yeah. Like, I remember rooming with him over in Wales, and like I say, you know, I'd be chatting away to him, and he was, I need to sleep, or I need to. He was very, very quiet. You just see all he wanted to do was focus on what he was doing. Like,
did you know he was going to have the success he had? Like,
look, you knew he was talented. Yeah. You knew he was talented. Like Jimmy McDermott, the coach, like, he used to say, you know, he'd be doing drills or something like that, and he said, Deo, he used to call him, Deo, give us a demo. So if he was explaining something, he knew Deo would fucking know what to do straight away.
Tell me this.
Right. Yeah. So he said, Deo, give us a demo, and he'd go off and do the demo, and then everyone else did what he
I'm
did.
just observing your face there when you're talking about being picked, and it's just screaming to me pride. Do you still feel it when you speak about it?
So long ago, like, and I suppose I probably feel more pride now.
That's I'm looking at you. You get that. And his eyes there.
But he's changed their ground as well,
really,
you know,
the magnitude of it probably didn't hit in at the time. Like, you know, it's only when you look back and, like what you said, when you paint the picture to say, you know, like, Dublin, or like players from outside Dublin didn't really play in the DDSL. They didn't really get selected for international. Like, unless you're maybe from Cork or something. Like, I remember watching I remember looking at the programme, because they get a programme for the Ireland match, and you had all these lads from Dublin. Then, you know, there'd be a couple of big Galway clubs in it, you know, and then you had Carlow. You know what I mean? And it was like, for me, that gave me a laugh and a bit of pride. Like, I was proud of where I'm from and the club I was playing with. But then a bit of a giggle, you know what I mean? I said, anyone looking at this, they think that's a typo. You know what I mean? Someone can't spell or
I can see the emotion in their face, man. I can see that, like, and it's crazy that
he must have left an onion under his eyes.
That years on, like, you know, when you speak about, because when you realise that it's first, Alan, right?
Oh, it's brilliant, huh?
When you understand that it's first, when you understand what you've done, when you understand maybe the regret where you could have gone, but you still will never get around the pride.
Yeah.
Like, you played for your country, man. Like, that's rare. I never felt pride. I remember watching Conal Dunn play for Ireland in the AUL against Ajax. He scored 2 goals. Man. And I had nothing got to do with Conal, really.
But you were proud.
I was with his father. Just quite proud. Carlow man going, man, unbelievable.
Yeah. And look, like I said, it's pride looking back at it, but like I was fairly grounded back then. And look, to be honest with you, I didn't really like people making a big deal about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, say, like, it would have been on holidays, like myself and Psycho and Justin McHugh and all. We went over, worked in a couple of summers in Crete, like, and
that's right,
you'd be over there, and we used to play against the Greeks once a week. Great games, my God, brilliant games against them we'd have, and they'd be going around
6 stone. Was that warm over there?
Yeah, straight into the pool.
11 aside, and
I'll be 8 or 9 aside maybe on an Astro pitch, but in the middle of the heat, because we'd be working in the evening, so you'd be doing it at 5, say, probably the latest you could do it before you get into work. But the lads would be going around saying, he played for Ireland, rugby league. You know what I mean? I just never liked that kind of attention and all. And
really?
Yeah, no, I never did. And look, I suppose there was a bit, like, you know, when you're, I suppose one hard thing to kind of deal with and come to terms with then as well. It's grand when you're on it, but then when you're off it, well, like I say, I was on it for about a year, and then there was not saying this is the reason why, but there was a new manager took over, and you know, I was on the panel for a while when he was on it, but then he obviously favoured other players, for whatever reason. Every coach has different opinions and stuff like that. But then I got dropped off the squad, so I was only on it for about a year.
Did that change your application with your club?
Well, it's kind of funny because that you asked that, because I got dropped one weekend. All right, basically they rang the manager and told Stella Maris manager. So I was on the bus at the time. So he waited until I got home and he rang me then and told me the news and said, look, don't be disappointed and all that. We have a big game next week. So we're playing for Stella against Cherry Orchard the following week, and they hadn't been beaten in 2.5 years. And all the new Irish manager, all the coaches were there. And I just said, I'm going to put in the game of my life here. Do you know what I mean? So I went, I think they went 1 up. I got the equaliser and set up the winner. And I just kind of remember walking off the pitch with a smile on my face.
10 foot tall.
You're like, that's
and
all
I
I can
said
do
to
here,
Derek, the manager, I said, listen, after that, I said, I don't know what more I can do. So, you know what I mean? If there's no way back in for me.
You're proud of what you've done.
Yeah. I couldn't have done any, really. I couldn't have done any more.
It's easy to say do it, it's hard to do it.
Yeah.
You said something about Damien Duff earlier on there, to say he was just ultra focused.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were as focused as him, you know what you said, you weren't really...
Look, I didn't have his ability.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was a special player. Like,
yeah.
You know, like here, if I had the focus that he had, like I had determination. Like even I told you a little while ago there that I was reading the Evening Herald and I told my father that I was
going to play for Ireland. Yeah.
Now, part of me was laughing, but part of me was telling you, I fucking will. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why I put a huge effort into the Kennedy Cup, and like every time I went out and played with New Walk, I played like, you know, I played like this meant more to me than anything else in the world.
Did coaches ever ask you to stop playing different sports like that or anything like that? To say you were playing with the Blues or...
No, they didn't like it in Stella Maris because I used to play hurling and all that as well. Yeah. And, you know, like...
I presume you're playing with Stella Maris in Dublin. If the lads that are living in Dublin, it's just Stella Maris. You're not playing football or hurling or anything like that, are they?
No. But back then you might get the odd lad playing Gaelic or something like that. But in general...
Soccer,
you know, it's kind of like you go up to your St. Kevin's or your Shamrock Rovers now, and like the young Culleton lads that are playing there.
Yeah,
they don't play anything else. Like, you know, if you're at that level
as well, right? Them chaps.
Yeah, exactly, doing brilliant stuff. But if you're at that level, that's all you do. Do you know what I mean? And that's what kills me as well, because like I'm coaching the Gaynor Cup team in academies, and you just see like I've 2 daughters on the Laois team under 14s and 16s at the moment, and you just see that every coach is training their team as if that's the only sport they play, and it's something it's something that I've took a step back with over recent years, because like say with my eldest daughter Kerry's team, when we got going with the academies first, with the cracking team. But I used to push them hard, like physically push them hard, like, and train them really hard. Like we would run the shit out of them, but like we'd work on the football side of it too. But I've kind of taken a step back now, like, and even let's say last year before we went to the Gaynor Cup, everything was mounting. All the first round of the championship was coming up in March, and they actually said, you know what, 2 weeks off. Yeah, I'm not training this for 2 weeks because I don't want to be blamed for you being burnt out. Yeah, and you know, but I just think that like I try to coach now, bearing in mind what other kids are doing, whereas I don't think other coaches of other sports think of it like that.
Yeah, but you have an understanding for the well-being of a player, right? Or the welfare and well-being of a player, right? So with that understanding, and listen, it's fantastic to be able to see that and do that, because you're 100% correct, and it's a truer statement will not be made in this podcast. Coaches now in various sports are coaches if that's the only sport that child plays, and the key word in that is child.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the key word in that.
That's a great statement, Jim.
And they don't know, like, you know, so like if you're a good soccer player, your club wants you to play, probably wants you to play out of your age group. Most of the time, girls that are good at soccer are good at Gaelic or athletics.
We've said it many times in this. Your best soccer players, your best Gaelic players, your best hurlers.
But the same thing then, like, you know, that people forget school matches. Like last year, or last week I had a daughter that played 2 soccer matches with the school, played 2 basketball matches with the school, trained with the county, she trained, what else did she do? Then she had a soccer match on a Saturday, county training Sunday, Gaynor Cup training on the Sunday evening, and a match Monday. Like, you know, it's just, like, I seen her in the evenings and she's just flat out exhausted. Do you know what I mean? But like, she's just an example. I see that because I'm her father, and I see her at home. Whereas you see the other players as well. Like you're never going to, like, I suffered burnout myself when I was younger from doing it.
I can imagine. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And like
that was a train journey in its own.
But you know, I'd always say to parents of kids who have a chance of going on and play at a higher level that you need to just refocus and say, like, what is the one thing you want to focus on most? If it's go play Gaelic for your county, go and do it. And focus solely on that and do everything else part-time.
That's from your past experience, though, isn't it? It's a great advantage for someone from Carlow to say to go on, if they could make it to the Irish trials for a girl. Yeah. For you, that's been there and wore that hat.
Yeah,
to help them as best along. Like, like I wouldn't know what to say to them.
For sure.
And you're the same. You would have. You know, it's just.
No, it's not. It's not because I played for Ireland. Like, I
but you've
would
been
have
in the scene. Like,
I would. And the one thing I really kind of. The one area I think where sometimes kids need a little bit of help is like, you know, say when it doesn't work out. So you're on the Irish team, and like that was a big come down for me, but like I never thought of myself as any better than anybody else from Carlow playing soccer. Like, there's some fantastic players around, loads of lads 10 times better than I was, even at that age or ever was in my eyes anyway. But like, I never seen myself as being good or better than anybody else. And then when you know you come back and you be brought down to reality very, very quickly if you thought otherwise. Yeah. You know, but you see this now. I've seen it with lucky enough to have coached some players that have played for Ireland as well from Carlow. But sometimes it's very difficult to come back down and play at a level that's a level above, say, international or League of Ireland, or even going to a schools match and everyone expects you to stand out. And suddenly, but suddenly there's a tough marker marking you, and the other coach knows that you're really good, and you know they're going to put someone stuck on your right foot or your left foot, and you're double teaming you. And you know, and sometimes psychologically that can kind of knock a player's confidence as well.
Yeah, it can. But see, the character you, Alan, from what I know of you, is that you don't like the pedestal, right? You're just a normal person playing a game. You're just a normal person coaching. You don't like the pedestal. You don't like, as you said, you're just modest, right? So 4.5 years of Stella, the DDSL at that time. That's the gateway to every or the majority of top players to go professional. Is that the vibe in there? Is every lad you're playing with looking to get that trial or that, you know, that contract? Did you ever have any contact, any clubs over the water or anything like that? Or
Coventry, there was talks of trials kind of with Coventry and stuff like that. Never materialised in the end, so it didn't. No, but I never got trials across the way.
Did many around you?
Yeah, there's loads. A good few lads did now. Yeah, a couple of lads with Stella Mars did. A few of them went on and had good careers in the League of Ireland and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, there was loads of lads there. Like Alan Mabry was on my Ireland team. My Ireland team. The Ireland team
was yours.
When I was on it. Barry Quinn again was another great player. Like Damien Duff. Like, you know, for me, knowing him and playing against him and stuff like that, because he joined St. Kevin's kind of as I was playing with Stella, and like we used to have good battles against each other as well then. Like, you know what I mean? He dived and got a penalty off me one day. Fuming, so I was. So don't know, I ended up kind of going into crazy mode for a while, flying into tackles. Very lucky to stay on the pitch. And then just out of frustration, the ball came 40 yards and I just pulled on it, bang in the bottom corner.
Go away.
But it was just out of frustration. I was that annoyed that he dived and got a penalty. You know, because I was there, like, I'd be a fair player, I wouldn't dive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, you know, back then, like, you know, diving in the early 90s, you're like, next time you get a proper kick.
Yeah, it's a sin, yeah, it won't be dived next time, cunt.
No.
Can't run without legs, can you? What?
Yeah. No, but and look, but I suppose going back to Damien Duff, he's a player I love watching. You know, when he went to Blackburn and Chelsea and was playing for Ireland, and you're watching it, like, you know, you never ever think, I played with him. You just look at him and go, my God, what a player! Like, you know,
if he's to walk through the door right now, what would you say to him?
Well,
no,
I never played for Ireland with you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Did you, like, you obviously you roomed with him for a bit, and you know?
Yeah, I was just on the trip to Wales, the one away trip we went on. I roomed with him.
When is the last, like, you haven't spoken to him obviously since that time, or?
No, like I think I probably would have played against him since when I left the Irish squad that time, or wasn't on it. But but see, like him and, like, say, Barry Quinn and Alan Mabry, like, you forget, like, it was a brilliant time. That was a brilliant time to be involved in soccer.
Absolutely.
Because you like Roy Keane, who went over as a youngster. I remember going over with New York to watch, like, Georgie Ram used to bring us over to Manchester, and one of the games we went over to was Forest, and you know,
was at that game. Thomas Walker got the slap.
Yeah, you remember he'd go down and sit with the stewards.
Thomas Walker followed Manchester's, or followed not Forest. And that was the start of the run. Looked like Manchester United was going to win the league. That was the start of the run.
Roy Keane cost them the league.
Roy Keane.
Go ahead.
Yeah, not Forest beat them 1-0.
Beat
the last
1-0,
3 or 4 games in a row or something, but that triggered it. But I'll never forget when Notts Forest scored. Thomas Walker was a Notts Forest fan. He jumped up, and a fully grown man went down and trying to box.
Went down about 5 rows and plastered him.
No way.
Yeah, he was only 14 or 13 at the time.
No way.
And Thomas was down to the steward. Shouldn't be in this crowd.
He just sit down there for safety.
That was the pro. Your man wasn't in the wrong. That young lad shouldn't be there.
Go ahead.
He followed Notts Forest.
Were you there the following year when they were playing Sheffield Wednesday?
No, I wasn't at that one.
I was over there again, and that was the time Bruce got the 2 late goals.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was
On the
set,
one it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the one
set
it.
United on the way. Like for
Like
you know,
97 minute,
you'll obviously
97
pictures
minutes
of
or
Ferguson
something.
and the
Two
outlet
headers,
pitch
Brian,
like that.
Brian
like,
Kidd on his knees,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. That was
A
that
United
game
fan
as well.
Yeah.
No, just
Spurs.
Oh,
no,
Spurs,
it was
sorry.
Spurs. It was just Georgie always went to Manchester. So
yeah.
whether you liked them or hate them, if you wanted to go, you wanted
You
to
want to
go.
go. But it's a different experience back then as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Listen,
I never that sticks in my memory for the rest of my life.
I remember that.
with
Like,
Thomas Walker.
that-
Thomas or Derry, was it?
no,
I think it was Thomas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Flattened him, yeah.
But that's probably one of my favourite memories ever. Was just I was Old Trafford. I'm not a United fan, but just walking up them steps and just seeing the pitch at eye level.
It's amazing.
You just
Isn't
like
it?
you nearly fall down. Like,
You would, yeah. You're in awe.
God,
It's
lads
amazing.
knocking
You're
you
in
over
awe.
to get by,
Yeah.
and you're like, will you let me? Let me. And this the stand and the full, and you see
It's
the
bigger than
players
football.
out.
Like
Oh, it's
the feeling you get is bigger than a sport.
Oh, it is,
I
yeah.
it's bigger than a match. Like it's
Honest to God, yeah.
It's overwhelming, like, you know.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Look, I got that from a young age, from Euro 88, Italia 90. Like, my God, like, you know, what a time to be alive. But I suppose the point I was getting to was that Irish team there, a lot of them went and played with Brian Kerr.
I was going to mention his name.
They came third in '97 in the World Youth Championships
In Malaysia, was it? In
I'm not sure. I think it was Malaysia. But they
yeah.
got beat by an Argentinian team with Cambiaso, Walter Samuel, and Riquelme.
Riquelme was
in
on it,
the
yeah.
team. And then the
Riquelme
following year,
was the business, really, wasn't it?
fantastic,
Lovely, yeah.
But they went on the following year and won the European Championships.
In Scotland,
I'm not sure where that was now. I just
16s?
remember.
Was Kerr was over
They
that,
won
was he?
16s and 18s.
yeah, Graham Barrett was captain of the 16s.
Yeah, I think Damien Duff. I'm not sure if he. I think that would have been
Richard
a year
Dunn,
younger
I think
than me.
Richard Dunn was the.
Like Robbie Keane was there, Richard Dunn was there, McPhail was there, Richie Partridge was there.
That was the 16s team.
Gary Doherty, I think, was there.
That was the 16s
Well, it could have been the
team.
16s, and then I think they won
18s.
something 16s one
Sorry,
year.
and then the same group went and won 18s.
Exactly.
100% correct and true. Absolutely. I used to go watch that group play 21s in Buckley Park.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Gary Doherty. I remember seeing Clinton Morrison make his Irish debut in Buckley Park for 21s.
What club did Duffer play for in Dublin?
He started off with Lord Celtic. He played with Lord Celtic, and then, like, obviously, what happened, I don't know, I think the manager was at a home farm, the manager of some team left and basically went to Kevin's and brought all the lads with him. And
It happened a lot up in Dublin.
Brought
you
Duffer
know.
as well, yeah, it does.
It did happen a lot.
But
in
that was
DSL.
actually, like, Kevin's were nobody before that.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
actually when it all
Catalyst.
started. Like, you know, they went there, they did a great team. I think from that then, not saying that was the catalyst for it, but
It grew from it.
It grew
right?
from that, and the structures they put in place with the underage players grew from around that.
They're
that
still
time.
well established, aren't they?
Oh, they're
Oh, yes,
phenomenal.
they are,
Super
yeah.
outfit, yeah. Considering they're not League of Ireland, like, you don't,
Yeah.
they don't.
They're all
Maybe
Bows,
they're
weren't
kind
they?
of fell down a little bit now. They're a feeder club for the likes of Bows.
It was Bows,
Yeah,
Kevin's
yeah.
Bow. But that whole, listen, I think that's a whole different episode, Alan, because that whole thing where, like, DDSL clubs, it's not the DDSL it was even 10 years ago.
No.
Right? It's different now because you have the LOI under 14s
Yeah,
and things
100%.
like that. So, I suppose, like, Bows, Pats, Shamrock Rovers, they're lucky in a sense, the Shells, they're lucky in a sense that they were, like, because back then the DDSL clubs would have been much better than League of Ireland clubs underage.
Yeah.
Like Paul mentioned about, like, that was basically Tala Rovers, which is just happened to be called Shamrock Rovers, and just by luck they're affiliated with the club. You know, so it actually has hurt the Joys, it has hurt Kevin's, it had hurt the Stella. Like, you know, it's kind of driven them back a little bit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't actually gone out, like, and established themselves as League of Ireland clubs.
Yeah, it's probably just a very big commitment to it. Like, it's something
Monetary, I'd
yeah,
say.
it's monetary as well, but
Yeah.
scale as well. If they all decided to do that, and then, like, you know, it's the stadiums. You know, like Shelburne
Yeah.
have a stadium, Rovers have a stadium,
money
Bows
involved,
have a
isn't it?
stadium.
Yeah,
like, you know,
massive.
so it's.
Talk to me about the end of your time in Dublin then. Where's the realisation where you're like, I have enough of this?
Yeah, so I was kind of into my fourth season, it was into my fifth season. So I was up there, and look, it was a big commitment. Like, I probably missed out on a lot of things throughout my childhood as well. Like,
What age? You're
lads
17?
going out, and, you know, I was, what's the age? Was I 18? Yeah, so I was in college, and then I was starting to work part time as well to get a few quid, and you know, no, I wasn't on Scraggs yet. that was still to come. But I think I was working at the LNN, and I got a job then in Dinree, and sure, that was Saturday nights then, and I kind of was doing that for a little bit. It was very hard to make it work, and I just decided, look, I said, I think then my chance is gone. Like I kind of went up to Dublin to see what I could do, and I kind of knew myself. Like you get to a certain age and you're
the ship sailed.
The ship is sailed, yeah. And
okay,
it's just kind of realisation of that. And I said, you know what, I'm going to come back here now, focus on college, focus on working and stuff like that.
Play
and
a bit down here.
Play a bit.
But you played a bit of Blues. You won Leicester's Blues, right?
Yeah, I was part of the Blues team there that had that great spell.
So you didn't come back down and regress. You came back down and you still kept going, kept playing.
Look, in fairness, like I always commit to what I do, like you know, and even when I came back down, I used to try and make the soccer and the Gaelic work. Even when I was playing with the Blues, like I'd always still be playing, whether it be Stratford, Hanover, whoever we were playing with, like even working in Scraggs, as you said, Papa. You know what I mean? Brilliant days, and that's another episode as well.
That's an extra episode.
But you know yourself, like even like by the time you're finished serving and cleaning up and all that, even if you had 1 pint, you know what I mean? You're still 3:30 when you're
serving
at
one. You're not. If you had 1 pint, you're not getting home.
Clean up 1 of it. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then you're playing 11 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
I remember one night there was a county final.
3 cans of Red Bull, wake up.
There was a county final the next day with the Blues, and sure, the boys were on a drinking ban for well before the
championship.
Championship. But sure, they all the scouts, old Anthony and old Davy and Patter Birmingham,
the pub,
the lads were the lads. Yeah, but sure, I was coming home from work anyway, walking down Tullow Street, and the boys caught me. What the hell is going on with you? And so I just opened up the coat and showed him the Scraggs top, and he goes, "You better be right for the morning," or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen,
all that Greg New team was in that Blues team as well, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they were the core of lads.
Yeah.
They were the core of both teams, basically.
Yeah.
Just the 3 cabinets are on, and then you mentioned Alan himself, Davy Walker.
You know what I mean? Sausage.
Andrew Corden.
Sausage was a great soccer player back in the day.
Super soccer.
Outfield.
Left back.
Yeah.
Like that when you get a free kick on, no.
Yeah.
Power in it.
Wonderful FO.
Yeah.
Tell me, before we move on to your coaching, what would you change in that time?
I think I'd go back to that point there. If I was going to if I had it all, if I had the time to do it all over again, I would have just focused solely on the soccer for the period I was up there, just to see what could have happened. And look, maybe not might have happened. Do
you have an idea what would happen?
I know. So look, like football's a game of opinions, and you know that yourself. You know what I mean? You could think you could put in the effort there, and you could train like a madman for 2 years, work on your skills, work on everything, and it mightn't make any difference. There's so many talented players up there, but there was so many talented players in Carlow. Like I always thought myself as very lucky to get the opportunity, and maybe there's lads better than me in Carlow that didn't get the opportunity.
Would you believe that? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, so you don't have to go out to any match you play, and even when you're beyond the Irish team, you go and you be playing against the CBS or the Tech or anything like that, and you know what I mean? There's no room to think you're good there. Do you know what I mean? Because you look at Wally Walker's running by you, or Eddie McGarry's flying down the wing, or you know what I mean? Like there's so many good players that you be mad or crazy. You don't need to think
you're a
that
level above that sort of.
God, never thought that. Even when I was on Ireland playing for Stella Maris, never. And like playing against New York for Stella Maris was probably one of the matches I hated the most. Do you know what I mean? Because it was awful to.
Sausage playing. We won right hand side.
Yeah,
Sausage playing left back.
I don't know who I was marking that day.
Did you get a hard time?
What?
Did you get a hard time?
I got a bit of a hard time.
In Carlow,
I was in Dublin.
Lucky you.
For sure, it was back at the time Wimbledon were going well. Sure, the boys had the speaker in a dress now.
No way.
No one really had that, So
did Stella or no walk?
No, Stella.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, New Walk. All the boys came up on the bus,
Yeah.
And sure, they were trying to get me to go up on the bus with them.
No way.
Yeah, and the manager from Stella, I was there, can I? And the manager said, no, you're not going on any bus when you walk.
Have you tortured all the way up?
The boys
Drink that. You can imagine. Yeah.
But I remember coming out at half time. I think we might have been 1 up at half time, and Antok having to walk straight over and be happy as no smays are going down. You know what I mean? No, just typical. But I think that the best laugh, Davy Walker still slagged me over this now. We took a corner, and the pitch we were playing in Richmond Road, there was a wall, like you had a yard to hit the fucking.
Okay, yeah.
You had no run at the corner, yeah. But sure, I was looking to see where I was going to hit it anyway. Next of all, I hit the corner flag and the ball went 10 yards. You know what I mean? I mean, you'd be playing against the boys, you'd be
Davey would let you forget that.
Oh, you'd be ready. London, let me forget. But,
brilliant.
Absolutely. Look, the next day you're back training with the Blues, or you see the boys in school. So look, you move along fairly quickly. But
talk to me about the Gaynor Cup journey, especially the journey to winning it, because it's an absolutely fantastic achievement that I firmly believe didn't get enough coverage for what it was. I remember watching the game. on stream. I think there was 10,000 watching it on stream.
I don't think there was that many now. I think there was a couple of thousand.
Go roll with it here, man.
Yeah.
No, there was
20,000.
No, there was definitely. It was in the
YouTube
thousands
was
anyway.
sold out.
Yeah. No, it was in the thousands anyway.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a couple of thousand people watching, but sure, I felt like half of Carlow was there as well.
Yeah.
You know, the support we got on the day was phenomenal. And, you know, like before I even get into it, I think like I spent the whole bus journey home. I always thought that if we won the Gaynor Cup, the girls would sing the whole way home. It was the quietest bus it was ever on in my life.
Seriously? Exhausted?
They were out on their feet. Out on their feet.
Who was you playing the final of that?
Midlands.
But
it went to extra time, and in the heat, and it was their 6th, 7th game in 5 days. You know, they emptied the tank. Emptied the tank. Like, I give you a great example. Like the very last play of the game. All right, my young one Ashley, she was playing up front with Ciara Milton. Like there was 3 up front. There were 2 of the front 3. Yeah, excellent. 2 of the front 3. Ashley picked the ball up 15 yards outside her own box. Played the ball to Ciara. Milto, as I call her, I never really call her Ciara. Yeah. All right, Milto took off down the wing against another player who she ended up playing with for Ireland. Like, you know what I mean? 2 of them at a 70-yard race in the last minute of extra time in a tournament over 5 days, like, you know, and she ended up getting the better of her across the line. And then Ashley was in the box waiting for her to square it.
Yeah.
And the other girl,
15 yards from your own line.
Emer Bulger was the other girl up front, had made a 40-yard run as well to get in the box. And look, Milto made the chance and she went for it and she hit the crossbar. She didn't square it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We ended up winning on penalties. But
how many rounds did you win on penalties in that competition?
3. 3. But the one thing I'd say is I'd hate anyone to say we were lucky.
Oh no,
because we didn't. Because you sent me a message. I got loads of messages on the bus at home, and you sent me a message that stood out. That just captured it. He said, "I think he's played the perfect game."
I think he did. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we completely busted.
You went on
like
the line.
I didn't have to open my mouth to the girls. All I did, they brought in an FEI coach to coach them, and he was a bit of a.
Well, arrogant was he? That's not like coaches, isn't it?
Bit of a mouthpiece, bit arrogant. I spent my whole time on the sideline shouting that how good we were, how great we were at closing them down, to get in his head.
Yeah.
And I did. Because he was roared, 20 minutes in, he was roaring at their players. I told you to do this. I can't remember what it was. Some technical term that the young girl obviously didn't understand.
Open up to your back foot.
Yeah. It's some technical term. And then he was a bit rude to her. Like she didn't. It's not that she wasn't listening, she didn't understand what he was saying. Yeah. And he said it again 2 or 3 times to belittle her. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was a little bit. But it was his ego. Yeah. You know, he was a little bit. He was bigger than the occasion. He was a little bit put out.
Spot on, Paul.
But listen,
I thought he was.
We went down with no expectation. The one thing I would say about that group,
semi-final year before, though, right?
No,
2 years before.
To go back, like when we started the Gaynor, it was 2016. So the first year we went down.
I was down there the first year.
Myself and Niall Byrne, we were there. Like, you know, with a good old team. Blessing Kingsley was on it. Or, you know, Zara Curfeld, Bette Evison. Kate Mack. No, she wasn't on it the first year. No,
was she not?
No, she was too young. She was under 12s.
Oh, she was the year after.
She was the year after.
Sorry,
yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, that year, myself and Byrne over there, like, you know, we played a few friendlies and we were doing all right, and we're going down to turn heads here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Went out against Inishowen, got best 6 in the first.
Inishowen were unbelievable.
we ended up coming third last in the competition. Oh, sorry, second last. Yeah. Went down the second year, we ended up coming second last. All right, so that's 2 years down, very kind of disappointing. But what we did the second year was we had that crew coming through. You know what I mean? You had Vicky from Bagnallstown, Polish girl, excellent. You know, went
Van Nistelrooy, that used to call her.
She
was Van Nistelrooy,
unbelievable. Her and Emma Walker up front. You had Katie Burnham one wing, Sheafra Adams, a girl from Denard in another wing, you know, playing with Bolton lass. And, you know, you just had these fantastic players, like, you know, you Kate Mack in it then as well. Like, I can't go through them all to mention it, but, you know, we kind of had brought, I think, 11 over 20 the year before. The year became third. We're underage. So we kind of knew what we were doing a little bit. And we went back the following year, and first time ever we topped the group. Yeah. And then we got beaten by Midlands in the semi-final on penalties. Right. You know, and that was kind of heartbreaking for them. So very close, but the same group went down the next year because they changed the age groups.
Went down 2.
Yeah, they used to do 14s and 16s, and they went to 13s and 15s. So for whatever reason,
the 14s were no 15s.
Exactly. And we went down that year, and we should have fucking won it. Cork won it, and we had them in the group. We fecked up our first match. We conceded 2 sloppy goals and lost 2-1 against NEC. And then we were playing the next day, and like we played unbelievable against NEC. We just couldn't score.
Right.
Yeah.
It couldn't score. I mean, like, it could have been 4 up after 10 minutes. You know, and that's not an exaggeration. And then we played Cork, who are a serious team now. You know, and it was probably the hardest half-time team talk I've ever had to do, because we're 1-0 half-time down against Cork. And I said, look, what do you say to them, Niall?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're after playing unbelievable soccer against NEC lost. After playing unbelievable. Like, I mean, like, we pounded Cork. All right? They got an early goal, and then we just clicked in, and we just played them off the field, and we couldn't score. So what do you say to them? So we just said, keep going. Bet Cork 2-1. And
keep doing what you're doing.
The first game cost us because they had an easier game last, and we were playing NEC, who we beaten, but they knew they weren't going to win the group, and they used that to rotate the squad a bit. And but we went on and won the Shield in the second place competition. Like from that, after the first game, apart from the goal against Cork, and we won 5 games straight. Scored 12 goals and conceded that 1 goal against Cork. They were just went into beast mode, you know. So I always felt sorry for that group, because there was a gainer in them. And even the year we got beat in semi-final, Kilkenny won it that year. Yeah. And, you know, like, we played in the Kilkenny League. So we knew, like, Ella Malloy, you know, Amy Clifford, Freda Mons, we knew them inside out, you know. And I always kind of think we sat around and watched the final the next day. They looked a tired team, very, very good team, but they looked tired. I always believe we would have had them on the day if we had got the opportunity. But you never know, like, you know.
You had to qualify for the Gaynor, though. Remember the first year you had to qualify.
That was the year we got to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
You had to qualify to get into it.
You had to qualify, yeah.
Group. You had to qualify to get into the game, to get to Limerick.
What's the qualifier? 1 game?
No, it was 3 games. It was a group over 2 days.
Over 2 days.
It was all AUL complex. I don't know why they did it that way. They were on about making it elite.
Strange, isn't it?
They wanted a 16-team
tournament.
They wanted
to be elite, yeah.
Right.
They didn't want the 21-team tournament. It was awkward. So they took a decision, and it was one of the worst decisions they ever made, because there was such a backlash over it.
100%.
That, you know, all these kids were missing out on the tournament and stuff like that. Everyone deserves to play. Every league deserves to be in it. But we ended up we had to go up. Kilkenny beat us that year in the qualifier. Kilkenny, I think we beat Wexford. We went up the next morning. They were both on a Saturday. We went up to Sunday and lost to fucking NEC. They were always a bogey team to us. And again, played them off the park and fucking lost 1.
I think it was at that.
And then I remember, I thought we were gone. Because we won 1 game out of 2. Yeah. And I was like, I was coming off like a bull, you know what I mean? Like, no, going to Limerick. Like, then I was thinking, well, if they beat them and they beat them and we beat them, ended up anyway. we had to pray that Kilkenny beat Wexford, and we had to beat, who was it? With Waterford. We beat Waterford by 6 goals, and there were only 40-minute matches now, 20 minutes aside. So we had to beat Waterford by 6 goals.
And Kilkenny had to beat Wexford as well.
Kilkenny just had to beat Wexford.
Yeah.
Up, right? Okay,
so they didn't have to beat, just had to beat.
Right.
So. Like 20-minute matches, 12 minutes in, 0-0. So here we go. Like, as well, 4-0, 4 goals in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Within a half time, 4-0 up. And then
were both games going on at the same time?
Oh yeah, both at the same time.
Yeah.
But one was over on one of the like, you couldn't see it. They weren't side by side. One was we were on the main pitch in the AO complex on the left as you go in, and the other game was over on one of the other pitches. But I remember then the score straight away after the kick-off then as well. The 6 goal wouldn't come. And then we seen all the NEC crowd coming over cheering for Waterford. Yeah. So, come on, girls, we need to do this. I always remember like Emma Walker's father, Bobby Brennan. Bobby, Bobby was, he nearly going to hospital he was, because every time a ball went out over the bank, Bobby was sprinting to get the ball back into play. Like, you know what I mean? The poor man was nearly dead trying to get balls back onto the pitch. But we did it. We won 7-0.
Yeah, we went for a point to Scraggs that I remember.
We won 7-0. Couldn't believe it.
Some buzz.
Yeah, we legged it over anyway. Got the last 2 or 3 minutes of the Kilkenny match and they were 1-0. And you know what I mean? But it was great to qualify, but it was awful that, you know, that they put leagues and teams and kids and parents through that.
The process was terrible.
Yeah. Like if you have a league representative team, you deserve to play in that competition.
100%.
You know, there shouldn't be any kind of grading, or, you know, it shouldn't be done like that. And then we had COVID. We had a break then with COVID.
That's right, yeah.
You know, and then we got back on the horse. Then we went down. We went down the first year back after COVID. We came third in our group, got bet in the final, and then the next year we just went and won it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So like,
it's,
you know,
some achievement.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's massive.
But the one thing I would say about that, like we were playing Limerick District in the first game in the group the year we won it, And I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, is there a third league in Limerick? I never heard of them. You know, I always, there was Limerick County and Limerick Desmond. And I thought this was a new league.
No, Limerick.
No, I know, yeah, but it ended up that all the girls play with the boys' teams.
Oh, go away.
And this was their first time having a girls' competition.
Oh, go away.
Like, yeah, now they might have a girls' league now. They might have set that up, but all the girls play with the boys' teams. And I was there, like, you know, sure, just like this would be the match now to give everyone rotate a little bit, make a few changes. And I remember the night before, on the way down in the bus, I remember chatting to Paul Sin. I said, you know what? You never get an easy aim again, so I'm going to start strong. And by God, I was lucky. The 4-2 we won it. They had 2 Irish internationals, Ava Loftus and Madison McGuan, who were quality players.
So they were picked from the boys.
Yeah.
And them girls were probably the best players in them boys team, or thereabouts, right?
They were really good teams. Probably one of our toughest games we had down there.
Because you can play, if you're a girl, is it still a rule where you can play year over your age?
Yeah, you can play down.
So if you're 14s, you can play under 13s. Which I think that's a great thing.
Ah, super.
I think it's a great idea. Is that still a rule?
Under 14, under 13 boys.
Boys, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dacker knows about it. He's always trying to rob me best players. I bring them the Galway Cup. I bring them the Kennedy Cup. Yeah. Come back to me talking about it later.
Yeah.
But then we had a kind of group deciding match then the next morning because we knew Wexford were very good, and I think they were a really good side now, and they were well drilled by their manager, and we kind of played them in the Interleague earlier on in the year, and it was fucking one of the most physical matches I've ever seen in girls soccer. Like, we played them up in Collection, and like they were a big strong team, and we were only a kind of a young slight team, and that game made us because we bet them 2-0, and I remember Cara English had an unbelievable battle with their kind of right winger who was a really good player, but we ended up beating him. But we went out the next day and we just, like we did in the final, we just took it to them, didn't give him a second on the ball, won the game 1-0. Was it 1-0 or 2-1? We won it anyway, and that set us up then to top the group. We had to play who was it, Inishowen later on in the afternoon then, so we topped the group. And then this is the memory that sticks with me now in the Gaynor Cup, because Galway were on fire. Like, Galway ran away with the Interleague. Like, they bet Cork in the Interleague final 4-0.
Right.
Like, to win an Interleague final, they won it at
4-0, like
4-0.
Yeah, nuts.
4-0, like, and the Cork were good.
Where did you beat them at semi-final?
We met them in the quarter final. But I went down to the draw was live down in the, you know, what was it, Kilmurray House?
Yeah, Kilmurray Lodge, yeah.
Yep. The draw was down there anyway, and the draw came out Carlow, Galway.
Lovely.
I had to say to John Collins and Bob, may go, lads. I went out and I walked around for about 10 minutes and I was there, how am I going to tell the girls that we can beat Galway?
Yeah.
When I don't even believe it myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you... Because we're after winning the group.
It's crazy, isn't
you know,
it?
how
like,
do
you have to understand.
How do you
Alan,
find the words to put it in the context to get them up for this? Like,
here's the competitor in you, right?
You don't have to lie to yourself.
But you have to understand, Papa, that these are 14-year-old girls, right? But there's a competitor that understands sport, understands the group he has, and he's like, oh my God, you might as well have drawn Barcelona.
Oh.
Because you're saying to yourself, how am I going to get this? No, these are only kids, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, like.
So it was like, and that was the hardest part. I had to go away, like, literally had to go off on my own to kind of think, like, to get my head straight. How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
You know, but, like,
remember your speech?
No, I don't. I have no clue what I said. I know, it was more like it was really kind of when we get to the latter rounds that we realised, and my daughter, I had a daughter on the team, Ashley, and they were quietly confident.
The girls were
more confident than we were.
Brilliant.
You know, and not that we'd ever underestimate the team or anything like that. You know what I mean? We didn't. Like, and we kind of had a great run into the Gaynor where we played friendlies and tournaments, and we were kind of, apart from one blip in a game up in Collection and the Blitz, we won all our matches.
Brilliant.
You know, and we were playing really well. So there was an underlying confidence there. Like, but you had players like Hannah Curfa, Siobhan Sinnott, fucking warriors. Like,
absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Kira Milton with a touch of class. Like, you know, like, I won't mention names though, because I'd hate to leave anybody out. They were just a great bunch of girls. But there was, like, we set up an under 10 development academy years ago.
That's right, yeah.
And like, I used to bring Kira Milton up to it. Like, she was 2 years younger than everybody else, and I used to say, come on up to this, or come in and train. I brought her in with the academy when she was only maybe under 10 or 11. She was 2 years out of the age group. But we worked with that team, and basically the core of that Gaynor Cup winning team was in that under 10 development academy. Yeah. So they were so used to each other, you know, when they got there. But getting over Galway, the same thing. We went out against Galway anyway, and completely dominated the first half. Like, I mean, like, if we got played off the pitch and we got away with a 1-0 or something like that, I'd tell you, like, you know, but completely dominated the game. And We went out anyway, 2 minutes into the second half. One hoofs the ball in over the goalie's head.
Cool.
Well, not the goalie could do about it, but it was just
one of them.
It was a pot shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I was there, here we go now. You know, going to be like a briar for the rest of the tournament after losing this. You know what I mean? And then just the girls clicked into gear again. You know what I mean? They, like, you know, and in fairness, like, we didn't dominate the second half as much as the first. It was 50-50, but we got the equaliser anyway. It brought it to penalties, and we won the penalty shootout. And then sure, like, I kind of always laugh because we went down to the stables for a pint the night before the quarter final, and straight away I met the Midlands manager, or the lad over the Midlands, and I didn't know he was the Midlands manager at the time. The lad
He knew who you were, though.
He knew who I was, but
Yeah.
I was trying to. That's the lad I ended up intimidating in the final. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All me roaring and shouting.
Yeah.
But I was walking out to the toilet, and he goes, he's got a tough one. No, that's the draw we wanted. If we want to win the tournament,
Brilliant.
you got to beat the best teams.
Brilliant.
Half thinking to myself, I don't
Yeah,
really believe that.
Yeah, no, but that's brilliant.
Raging we
though.
got
Brilliant.
going. But I wouldn't tell him that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, this player and that player, and he gave me a few little nuggets. I used it to my advantage. You know, he'd seen them playing.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that away.
But if you had went with the underdog attitude to him, he wouldn't have given him nuggets.
No.
Because he knows, but
But see,
lost already.
listen, they wanted anyone to beat Galway.
Yeah, but the fact you said, oh no, we're going to beat them.
They were strong favourites for the competition, were they?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, the
Blitz-
team no
the
one
Blitz
wanted.
Interleague
The
yeah.
Midlands didn't want. Like, all they wanted was someone to beat them jammy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we deserved to win against them.
Yeah.
And then our prize for that then was Dublin.
So
you know what I mean?
final.
Yeah, MGL South, which is the better of the teams. now.
Metropolitan Girls League, that's what the Dublin DDSL
Yeah,
equivalent
they
is.
had.
That's what DDSL is called for Liquor Girls.
yeah, Metropolitan Girls League. Yeah.
They had who did they have? Oh, sure, Piedmont United were very, very strong
Excellent
at that age
side,
group.
yeah.
We played them in friendlies and stuff like that. But they had 8 girls. Like they ran away with the All Ireland that year, the SFAI Cup. I think they won the final 4-0 as well.
Piedmont.
Like, Piedmont, yeah.
Right.
So like they had 8 or 9 girls on that.
Penalties as well, right?
Yeah, penalties, yeah. So now, in fairness, again, first half we were excellent. The second half was probably the most. We were on 1 up, so we had lead to protect.
Yeah.
We didn't kind of a ball went in and mix up between defender and the goalkeeper, and one toe poked it into the goal. Not like to cut us open. But that second half of that game, there was a period for about 10-15 minutes where that was the most under pressure we were for the whole tournament. So like, I'm not going to tell you we were blowing teams away. Like we were soaking up
You
a
were
lot.
specific though, Alan. I remember watching that final, and obviously I wouldn't speak in the Dakar and that, who would have been down there. I wasn't involved at this time, but you still have an eye on it, right? I remember seeing in that final, you're so extremely organised. Like, you could evidently see what you were trying to do off the ball, which for me, looking at it as a coach, seemed more important because you knew what you can do when you had the ball.
Yeah. Like,
So just the way it's like
everyone knew their job.
yeah, and it was
everyone
just,
knew their role.
It was, you know, as a coach, when you're sometimes you do phase of play, you try and put players in lanes. Like you put down lanes, and you imagine here's your lane, you're playing in here. It just screamed at it. Everyone knew not only what they were doing, what the person in front of them was doing, what the person beside was doing, what the person in the diag was doing, and it just worked beautifully. Like it was perfect. Like you definitely won that on the line, I have to say. I'm going to ask you this question, right? You can only keep one. Your hurling career, or success with Newark, or the Gaynor Cup?
Gaynor Cup.
Oh, a fair play.
Gaynor Cup, like, you know, individual things are fine, but to get a collective, like, you know, to get a squad like that, and, you know, to have them believe in themselves and do something that, like, you know, it's unheard of really for a Carlow team to go
For a
and
small little county like
to
Carlow,
win an All Ireland like that, like 100%. And I'll finish on this now because I know you have loads more stuff to do there.
It's not panic.
But like the night before the final, we just got an idea. I said, come on out, because we were staying in Kilmurray Village, which is the one closest to the pitch, and they have the main pitch there, just beside that, the one they use specifically for the finals. So I just don't know what came in. The girls were all out messing around. And I see the girls didn't care. That's another great thing. The girls weren't sitting in the room going,
free spirits.
"Jeez, what am I going to do?" Like, you had to drag them in.
Yeah.
We're all running around. I said, "Will you stop? You're going to get hurt. Conserve some energy."
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
the girls were just having so much fun. Like, you know what I mean? And I said, "Come on, we'll go out onto the pitch." So we set them down in the middle of the pitch, in the centre circle. And I said, "Tomorrow we're going to win the All Ireland here."
Wow.
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
and do you know what?
Jimmy Bullard moment with the bowl.
But they believed it. They believed it.
Yeah.
And they got more crack out of that.
They
then,
made you
because
believe it as well,
Some
I'd
young
say.
lad was slagging my head or something like that, you know. And I made a little bit of a run after him, like, you know. So the girls got the biggest gig. Me 40, I wasn't going to catch the young man. You know what I mean? But, like, you know, I'll finish on this. I've been down in the Gaynor Cup so many times. Like, the nicest feeling all right? Because normally you go down, you do your best if you have a final that day, or you're lucky regardless of what level it's at. But you stay around and watch the final, and then everyone goes back to the houses, gets the gear, bus comes to collect you. But, you know, I remember coming off the pitch that day, and it was the last one left.
Brilliant.
Last one left. And then, like, SFAI were gone. Most of the fucking Carlow parents and all were gone. Everyone was gone.
Yeah.
I remember just looking at it going, I remember this now.
Yeah.
Last one here, because, you know what I mean? And
It's a memory of a lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah, and then even when we went back to the village, I went down to the village reception and I said, listen, we're never in the final. We're in the final day. Not about normally you have to leave one room.
Yeah.
You have the one house and everyone's stuff is banged into it and all that.
Yeah.
So I said, will you give us the house? Or give us the houses. So that, like, you've all, whatever,
There's only
100
whatever,
other houses to clean. I said, just leave us the 4 houses for the day. I said, we're never in the final.
Did they do it?
Yeah, your man said, okay.
Fair play.
So we just went back, and it was lovely just walking around, and Paul had the Carlow flag, and sure, you know what I mean? It was just brilliant. Again, to see it back in video and all, then it was just one of those things that'll stay with you forever. Like,
Of course it would, yeah. Why wouldn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Come here, we've gone to that time. Best 11.
Oh, yeah.
Hit me with it.
Best 11. Right. I had to write them down in case I forgot them.
Okay, go on.
Shape.
They're that bad.
4-3-3.
Listen, to be honest with you, I focused on lads I played with. All right, so it's going to be Newark, Hanover, Stretford. You know, there's a little bit of a mix in there as well. And forward the back, and then, you know, apart from one, the other 5 are attacking players. I always love the connection as a midfielder or a winger, you know, a striker, someone you can connect with or something like that. You know, someone that had maybe the same attacking thoughts as you. So, goalkeeper, Gavin. You know what I mean? Like,
he's in most teams, isn't he?
Like, you know what I mean? I played against him as well, and you know what I mean? Oh, listen, I remember going in 1v1 one time with him, and the knee was up and everything like that. You know what I mean? He'd break you up in 2 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And but he'd be real. He wouldn't say anything on the pitch. He'd break you up, and he wouldn't say, "Are you all right?" He'd ask you after.
He treated you the same as like if.
He'd ask you all right if
you're getting it.
Yeah.
You're playing against me, you're getting it. That's it.
But Gavin is stabbing in the face, not in the back.
Yeah.
Do you know?
But I remember playing an SVI game with Newark years ago when I was a young lad over in Galway, and he made the best save, even at a live match I've ever been at.
Right.
You know, he'd been the best save I've ever seen in real life. The man, it was a real windy day. The Galway team had the wind.
Probably Salt Hill, was it, or somewhere?
I don't know who it was. No, it was meant to be played in, was it Terryland Park?
Yeah.
But it was waterlogged. So we had played them in the middle of the state. But your man took this shot anyway. Next of all, Gavin jumped up, and I swear to God, when I mean, he was parallel, about 4.5, 5 foot on the ground, off the ground, just parallel, and tipped it over the bar.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remembered myself going, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I said, we have to win this match. And then we went to extra time, and Carpenter got the winner. Like, do you know what I mean? So into the next round. But
brilliant.
Just unbelievable. Then, and just another Newark lad, like in the back then, Davy Walker, like, you know what I mean? I played with Davy when I was younger, played him against him for a good few years down at Hanover and Stretford. Actually, he played with Stretford for a while, Davy. He did. So I played with him there as well. But played a bit of 35s with him there as well over the last few years. But again, just unbelievable player. Like, he's reading of the player, reading of the game and all that. But did he play? He played in the League of Ireland for a little while.
FC Carlow,
yeah. Colin Whelan.
Brilliant.
Hanover.
Yeah.
I love playing
he
with
was
Colin.
on my team, yeah.
Oh, he was one of the most underrated players.
Yeah.
Loads of, like, Newark were always trying to get him up to there.
Didn't care who he was married.
Bad injury, was it? Injuries pop,
just
was it?
His knees, he used to play 3 games and got injured, missed 5 or 6, then he'd come back and he'd play on pain, but then he was just I messed up, lads. And then I think he was running his father, the courier service or something at the time.
Was it?
I think he was running that or something like that, but he was super
he was like
player.
a maestro, just so calm on the ball. Like, even you play him in midfield, and we did at times, but he just so calm and stroking the ball around.
I used to always compare him, Alan, to, remember playing with the Blues, Andrew Carden got the ball. Get out of the way, lads. Let him through.
That was it.
You can't get the ball. You just go through 7 or 8 lads kicking over the bar.
Wow.
Colin was like that in the soccer. Picked up the ball in centre half position. And he just play 1-2 with someone, would get the ball and buried in the top corner. It was like nothing about. Do you know the goal you scored? It's just a goal.
Just again, real down to earth lad. Didn't get fussed. And you know, lads would be hopping off him. He just took it in his stride. Like, you know, great player. Like,
super player. Yeah.
Miley Dorn. Played with him with Stretford. Like, you know, and just, you know, unbelievable player. You know, just Miley was, you know what I mean? Again, that kind of Andrew Carden type. Like, Miley go up there and he Yeah. You know what I mean? He'd fucking put his head where other lads would put their foot, like, you know. So, Jesus, I'm after forgetting my other defender. Who's my other defender?
You have 10 players then, is that what you're saying?
I have 10 players. I'll come back to it.
Have you put yourself in the team?
No, Jesus. No.
That's
I
not
don't
going to
get
work,
that.
man.
I was thinking
Gav done
about
it.
it, but it goes against everything else I was saying.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's the other
You
one?
played for Ireland, like you can't even make that team.
Like Andy Bunzel.
I'm trying to think now who it was. And if I go on to midfield, I come back to it. Blackjack. You know, I've played with him for years. And you
In
know
midfield,
what I mean?
in the 6.
Yeah. Well, Blackjack played centre back sometimes when I played with Hanover as well. But generally, me and him would playing midfield together. If we're playing 4-4-2, the two of us.
He'd mind you, wouldn't he?
Yeah. We mind each other.
Yeah, for
But
sure, yeah.
Again, like I seen him getting a kick in the head one day down the plots, and he got stitches. No, not stitches. He got stitches afterwards.
I remember the lump.
Pumping blood and all that. Fucking bandaged them up and back on the pitch again, looking to win headers again. Just
no errors or graces there.
no.
It's just
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
shift.
Me defender. I forgot all about him. Psycho.
Oh, Psycho, yeah.
I thought Psycho. Like, I love playing with Psycho over the years. Like, you know what I mean? We always had a bit of a telepathy. Like, he was great in the air, and I used to swing in corners and free kicks, and more often than not, I'd find him. Like, and in his prime, I just thought he was a phenomenal
Played with
player.
Hanover as well, didn't he, near the end? Played with B team at Hanover.
Brilliant.
Very good, yeah.
He just needed a roll of duct tape for his mouth. That's
Oh,
all he
yeah.
needed.
But sure, I remember playing with Hanover, and who was it? The back line, the back line was Psycho, Leo Whelan, and Gonzo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Lads, you need the
Larry
earmo.
Curley and more.
You need the earmo switch, so you would. But
Three lunatics.
3 madmen. If you got in by them, there was something wrong.
Lads, Larry Curley and Ball.
I put down Damien Duff because I played with him and against him, and I just think, like, you know, for me, he's one of the best players that Ireland have ever produced.
Oh, yeah, he's-
And again, he's one of those lads you just love to watch play. There's an elegance. He just glides past people.
When he was at
and-
Blackburn, Ireland, he was brilliant. And then he said, he's going to stage up here now. He's going Blackburn to Chelsea. Chelsea's
He was deadly
in
at
that
Chelsea.
Mourinho area.
and
He was
all the money,
brilliant.
all the money they spent, like that was probably some of the best value they got was.
Well,
buying him.
Ranieri actually signed Duff.
Yeah, and Mourinho ended up with him, didn't he?
And Ranieri's, do you ever hear the story? Do you ever read Ranieri's book?
No.
Right, okay. Ranieri's mother used to ring him every week and ask him about the team when he was at Chelsea. His mother. And the first question she used to ask Ranieri every week is Damien Duff playing?
Yeah.
Loved him.
Loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
There you are.
But he's one of a few, Alan. You played with him. He's one of a few Irishmen to ever win a Premier League medal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, that's outrageous. Like,
But especially if you go past the 90s where you had like lads
Has there
playing
been
with
6 Irish Premier League winners?
Davy Walker loved that question. David with me, son.
Yeah.
David with me, son.
Sure, right,
That's what
Keane.
Davy said, yeah.
I know more no, not Blackburn, didn't he, when they won 95? Yeah, I wouldn't say there's more than 6.
Paul McGrath win one.
No.
Dennis Irwin.
Irwin,
Yeah.
Sure, was the coach of Man United. Then with Blackburn was Duff.
John O'Shea,
John O'Shea.
Damien Duff. Probably missing the stand-up one, I don't know, but I know Kevin Moran won one at Blackburn one day when he was on that squad, I think. Jeff Kenna could have been on it as well, but they're duds. I don't know
Jeff Kenna.
Remember him, fullback. He looked like Michael Jackson.
Oh, I included
Jeff
Duff.
Kenna.
Another
It was
one.
Ali Kenna you were thinking of.
Sorry, Alan. How
Doing
rude
a
it
Carpenter's
was.
there, if you want to talk to him. Ross Townsend.
Ah,
Ross,
You know,
yeah.
so
yeah.
again, I never really played
Where'd
with
you
Ross
play
a
with
whole
Ross?
lot. New York 35s.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, I knew his pedigree and I seen him playing. I never played with him in the younger, I often seen him played against him with Pats and stuff like that when he was playing with Pats.
Super tight.
Do you have any Ross Townsend stories? Everyone has a Ross Townsend story. Do you have one?
No, don't have a Ross Townsend. He's mellowed out by the time he gets to 35.
Still training, still playing, still don't train with the first team there. And
Is he?
So yeah, loves it. He's running around as if he was 24, man.
Yeah. But the one thing I love about Rossi was like, if you were coaching a young lad to play midfield, you say just watch him.
Watch
for 10
Ross,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Scanning, looking, opening out. Where's the space? He just had
Extremely tidy.
really tidy, and then he's a gallop on him. You know what I mean? He can just take off.
Oh, yeah.
He just take off.
Hunger.
And just glide past.
It's a hunger run.
Yeah.
One of his best attributes is the scan before the ball comes to him.
Ross?
Ross is like,
Brilliant.
No, I don't want it. Scan, your manager's looking away, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Brilliant. If it's one touch,
yeah.
bang, gone, and he's moving the far side.
Very
of the
underrated player.
If you
that's
want
a
lad
good
to
player.
get a young lad, just go up to watch him playing.
Yeah,
for
just
10
watch him
minutes.
playing centre
Even
mid,
now, if he's whatever age he is in his 40s and stuff.
I wouldn't say he looks overplaced either.
In training?
Yeah.
Oh, ideal.
No, he's very
So
good.
he keeps himself well. Do you know what I mean? Like
Badger told him, just relax, Ross, and, you know, it's, oh, not a chance. No. No. I'll be doing usual stuff. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
He's running around. He's lethal, like.
Very good.
In 11v11 game, we play in 3. He doesn't look out of place at all, like.
No. He's so good.
He's brilliant.
So good.
Brilliant.
You know?
Very good player, yeah.
Look, when we were training at New York 35s, they used to call it murder ball. No, the little astronaut house there. There could be 20 lads in there playing.
Jesus,
but like,
right.
but even, but,
everything.
yeah, but like Ross would always find the extra second.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even when it's congested, he's just quality player.
Yeah.
Again, Brino. I'm going with me kind of 3 strikers there now. Like Brino.
On the left.
Yeah, look, he had
He's in most teams too, isn't he?
Do you know, and look, he's the same in the Gaelic. I had to mark him in the county final and all that before. Like, I
That
did
is
my
a task,
best.
isn't it?
Did my best to put him off, but
Yeah.
he still got a couple of points off. You know what I mean? But
you
he's,
keep that man scoreless, that's an achievement on its own.
I know, but I think soccer, he's just, you know, again, that type of player you love to watch, like a duffer. Like, he just left foot, wants to take lads on, rocket of his shot. And again, a great attitude. He's a winner. Like, when he goes out on the pitch,
a tough cookie.
Yeah, tough cookie.
He got a lot of hardship, but Jesus, he's able to give it back and take the hardship too.
Yeah, for
You know, he wasn't one of these flair players that goes, "Oh, this is a rough game." He'd be in the middle of it with you.
Yeah,
super player.
Then again, you're playing inter-county Gaelic, and you're playing soccer at that level, and you're known, you're going to be targeted. So you have to be able to kind of take it. Lord of mercy on him, Christy Sullivan. Christy Sullivan.
He's been the most as well, Papa, to be fair.
When I started playing with Stretford, like, he was probably ticking on a bit then. Like, but just he brought to me, I think, what I hadn't seen in Carlow. Kind of, you know, after coming back, I was only coming back from playing in Dublin.
What year? I was want to point something out. What year did you play with Christy? Roughly.
I would have been 19, 20, so it would have been 97, 98.
So let's say around late 90s, he's on your team of the year. Pat Timmons was our first ever guest, and he was playing mid 80s to early 90s.
Christy was
on that team as well.
Yeah.
That tells you the pedigree of all you want to know about that man.
Yeah. Like, Christy was probably
two different eras. Like,
maybe I'm wrong now, but I'd say Christy was like mid 30s probably at that time.
Oh, he was.
Maybe I'm wrong. 33,
no,
34.
I'd say he must have been late, was he? Honestly, he was 18, 19 playing with Pat.
No, he wasn't. He was definitely mid 30s. Yeah.
But he brought a cuteness that you just didn't see that often. Like, for that time, you know, he was very, you know, a lot of lads would be kind of strong and fast and good in the air and, you know, athletic and all. But Christy wasn't. He was small and he wasn't particularly fast, but he'd find a pocket of space, he'd finish.
Feet was unbelievable.
Feet was great, but not even scoring. He'd split the defence.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you play the ball into him and he'd
play
play somebody else in.
It's the pass to you. It's just, I don't have to do anything. It's not bouncing before me. It's just
perfect weight.
It's perfect.
That you can hit
his
first
chest
time.
or his head or his volley.
That's a good pass. Yeah.
And the thing I love about Chrissy, he didn't care who you were.
No.
You know, if you didn't do something right, he'd tell you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That pass was shit.
And he said he'd go down for a couple of bottles. Large Harvey used to drink.
Where?
Yeah.
Pain stripper. It was Large Harvey pain stripper.
In the bottle.
Yeah.
But I remember after a cup final one time with Stretfordshire, we ended up in the Foundry. But I was in my tracksuit and my jersey, legs mucky, and I was there with Owl Dunzer and Christy. You know what I mean?
Jesus
and the two boys in the
Christ,
Foundry, like 2 in the morning, still giving it socks. Like, but
Brilliant.
and the last one then, Flinner.
I love
You
Flinner,
know, like I played against him a few times, and I know he would have played with Pats in the Kilkenny or in the Kilkenny League and that for a good few years. But again,
had a spell in Dublin as well, right?
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah,
Cherry Orchard, wasn't he?
Even when he was playing 35s with New York, there he was still up doing something in Dublin as well. Like, you know, he used to play for a team up there and come back to us then.
Talk about an honest player, like, empty the tank for you every week.
Yeah, but that's tough.
I'd say Adam
tough.
Flynn.
He gets broken, you know, but he's able to take it, and you know he'll ride the tackle and go on again.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
He got a dirty injury. Remember the time he
Nasty.
snapped his leg or
Wolf Hill, I
something?
think,
Did
done
he? Yeah, bad injury, Alan, and I said he'd never come back from that. Sure, he'd come back.
He
Not
did.
bothering him, yeah.
Yeah, I sure he was a
Said
Pats
again,
coach, Alan or Adam.
18 months out or something like that.
I'd say Adam Flynn is the most foul player in the history of the Carlow League.
I used to call him
You're
Mark
not
Hughes
far
of
wrong
Carlow.
there.
Yeah, remember Mark Hughes' big ankles and the same thing.
It's fair 11 anyway.
Yeah,
Strong
super
11.
11.
What
yeah.
manager would you have on the sideline?
You won the Gaynor Cup. Pick yourself, man. Come on.
I know, like as far as coaches go, I could never go beyond Jimmy McDermott up at the Ireland team.
Yeah,
Just,
well, there you are.
Again, for his time, he was just.
And what he done for you as well, yeah.
Yeah, and not even what he done for me. Like, he believed in me, but you know, just
What he instilled in you, right?
Yeah, but
The little nuggets he gave you, the
100%,
information.
like, you know, just thinking outside the box, doing what other teams aren't doing, and his training was just a little bit
Different.
above what everyone else was
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
at the time. Like, you know,
Super.
Yeah.
Great
brilliant.
11.
Yeah, Savage 11 to be fair.
It's
Podge
time
versus Papa.
for
You
two
first this
peas
week,
in
old
a
friend, or is it me?
podcast. Podge
43
versus
Podge,
Papa,
38
sponsored by
Paul.
Kelly
It's you, yeah.
Auto
You're
Repairs.
first.
I'm first, am I? Hanover versus Vale. Straight off the bat. 3-1 Hanover.
2-0 to Hanover.
Alan, you're in on this. What do you think?
Who's at home?
Hanover. Do you follow it? Would you follow the junior results?
I keep an eye on it now. Yeah, I don't get to the games, but I'd always keep an eye on the table.
Results and all that.
Good answer.
Yeah, I keep an eye on the table. What do you call it? They'll need points.
They do.
I'm gonna go 3-2.
Hanover.
Hanover. Yes, sorry, 3-2 Hanover. I think Vale will put it up to them, but
Parkville versus Cretty Yard. Parkville were absolutely warriors on Sunday.
The Warrior, yeah.
Desmond. At Desmond. Paul to
2-1.
play.
The Critty Yard.
Alan.
2-1 Parkville.
Oh, yes.
Someone's buying the drinks there, boys.
Brilliant. Kilree versus Collection. Kilree need to win, lads. That's a massive dent last week. It's in Kilree, Pop. I'm going to go. I think Kilree upset Collection. I'm going to go 2-1 Kilree. In their pitch. This time of year, mid-February. Tough place to go.
Yeah, it is, yeah. They got an awful thumping ass when you walk as a
They
monster,
need to bounce back.
Well, their strength is in Kilree, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And some of the...
Just give me the score, man.
No, I'm going to think there, man.
Just give me the
I have
score.
to 5 behind. I have to get this right. Oh, I'm going to go... No, I'm going to go 2-1 to Collection.
What are you saying, Al?
Desmond.
I have to try and go against you. Try and make up ground.
Yes, man. What if I'm right, though, bud?
We're sure the miles behind, aren't they?
No,
You're a
but
maths teacher, eh?
if you copied me, do you know what I
Yeah, I'll
mean?
never catch you, will I?
Yeah. No, but not on all results, you
5
cretin.
behind.
That's Podge's strategy. You copy me and you'll be grand.
Yeah, that was my
copy
strategy
me.
for the second week when I went ahead in the
You're
backfire.
not on the Charlie
No,
Ellis round.
listen,
Come
I'll
on.
tell you this. Come here, I'll tell you this. If you think that, you don't have to copy all the...
No,
all
I'm
what I
not
say.
copying you. You gave me an opinion. I gave you my answer. Move on. Let's go.
Do you know what? Checkmate. Pop a little bit of a different one. A couple of listener questions.
All right.
We can all get involved in this, right? Well, this one, you can't get involved in this. No. You can head out there, Al. Regan Dorn. How did the name How Was He come about for the podcast?
So we were thinking about the 2 peas in the pod, were we?
2 peas in the podcast.
In the podcast, yeah.
Oh,
That's what we were
exactly.
going to do. And then we just went, you know, there you go. How is he, Ref?
I think it's the most hard thing at junior football
is he?
matches.
Oh, well,
In our side.
listen, not if you're a coach with Niall Byrne for a number of years.
Why?
Because Niall is firmly, who is she?
Oh,
Or
who is he?
Who is he?
Who is he?
I said,
Okay.
shut up,
He can't even get it right.
Me on the sideline.
Yeah.
But
Oi,
he's convinced he's right. He does a little nervous laugh
Yeah.
where he thinks I'm messing with him.
Okay.
But like he still thinks he's right.
Okay.
Who is he?
But that's why I think we call that. I think it's
That's Papa Dowling over there.
Yeah.
I think it's commonly the most heard thing.
Yeah, many times. How is he, Ref?
How is he?
listen,
Yeah.
How is he podcast?
Great name.
That's what we done, yeah. There's your answer, Regan.
Jack Brennan asked the question. We're not going to answer it, Jack. No, Liam Byrne asked the question. We're not answering that either.
What's
Michael
the
Falsey. I work with this guy, Michael Falsey, right? And we
Go on,
speak a
ask
lot about
Jellies.
football. Do you know what he asked me?
What?
Can you see a time where Carlow and Kenny could make a return to League of Ireland football? Mick, did you ever hear CK United, bud?
Yeah.
They play League of Ireland.
It probably means like men's level, does he?
Well,
Yeah,
I'd say that's where it's going.
I'd say that's what he's
I'd say
talking
It's going third tier, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely going third tier.
They'll get in. They're in that, are they? If they get a ground.
I don't think applications are open yet.
All right.
Well, they're hoping to have a senior women's team next year. I think
They played last year, right?
didn't get it, but I think next year they're opening.
Well,
the
Waterford got it,
Division
didn't
2. Yeah.
They'll definitely get in the women's one. I think they'll get in the third tier. I think they'll have a small bit of opposition. But because they're already League of Ireland, I think they'll get it.
I think the only issue there is the venue.
No, he said it. And that's,
You know what I
that's
mean?
exactly what we said to Peter, wasn't it?
Waterford have the stadium down
Yeah.
there.
They need to get a stadium.
That's exactly what
Or
we
their
said
own place
to
because-
Peter.
Like it's a shame that Buckley Park is
Look
down
at-
there. Do you know what I
look
mean?
at-
Not being like I think it is being used now by somebody, but
I think Castle Warren use it.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a club in there. But you know, like
But
But
you,
make
you
it-
go down there, you don't want to be playing in Dermot, it's not disrespect to
But
Dermot.
make
You
it
only
a
play in the
fortress,
Buckley,
though,
don't
you know.
Yeah.
Make it a fortress. Like, you know, it's a
you
savage
want your home
venue,
ground.
man.
Of
Yeah,
course you do.
don't be renting pitches. And,
savage
Look
venue.
at FC Carlow. Had to go to Ballon.
yeah,
You know, and that's not disrespecting Ballon, but it's a League of Ireland team renting a pitch.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
work.
and that was before they had the Astro.
Yeah.
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 Last question. Three of us can answer this. Podge, Papa, and we'll stick Alan in there as well. What's your go-to formation on the pitch? Pop, I'll guess yours, you guess mine.
Yours is a diamond
Is it?
in the middle, is it?
No, yours is 4-2-3-1. Or this put 6 point back.
I love a 6, yeah.
Yeah. 4-3-3 point back.
Yeah. 4-3-3.
I'm going to the box. I love the box middle now.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think it's future football. I think it's coming back. It goes in circles, right? I think 4-4-2 has come back, but it's a box. So your top two come into where the two midfielders are, and it's a box 4 with your wingers playing and full-backs pushed. I think it's coming back.
I think you gotta, like, my answer to that would, like, when I was involved with the Gaynor Cup, I started with 4-4-2. Suited us the way we played with two good strikers. For me, you play the formation that suits the squad.
Yeah.
With the
4-4-2, well, and people are playing it now, you'll see even in the Carlow League, but what to do off the ball is one of the strikers picks up the 6 off the ball. But when we have it, it's like we have 2 attacking players.
That's what we use. That's what we
on
use
the last line.
I think it's going back to directness. You look at Forest there, and in the Premier League, they're gone way more direct now. Like they'll hold off, they'll win the ball, and bang, they'll get it up and they'll play.
Chris Wood is like an
under 100 miles an hour.
He's banging in the goals too.
So I like that. Look, but I'd be 4-2-3-1 to be honest with you. But I'd like that box 4. Here's one from Aidan Bradley. Well, lads, what would your opinions be on the streaming of Premier games and finals? I think it's a great idea, and I would say watch this space. I think something could be happening down the line.
I love all, even Divisional Cup finals to be, I don't know whether it's us or someone else commenting on the game for a bit of crowd. Make it an occasion.
Someone else.
What do you mean? Like, there's no one as good as us, is there?
I think it'd be phenomenal.
I think it'd be brilliant.
But I'd rather have a bigger crowd at it. Go and watch it.
Yeah, I think it can. I think it can accommodate both. I think it'd have lads who wouldn't go, but if it was on a device, they'd watch it.
Yeah.
Like if you have a cup final, say like the Carlow Cup final, right? The clubs are going to bring enough revenue gate wise. Do you know what I mean? To have a couple of hundred there. But if you have someone that's not involved with them clubs,
watch out of interest.
Yeah, just watch out of interest.
Yeah. Or you might have somebody that is a club man for one of them isn't around. You know, you know what I mean. Just there's definitely an audience there for the streaming as well.
100%.
I think I'd love to just do the commentary. I think it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I think we'd be deadly at it, wouldn't we?
It would be good at it.
We'd have to get a bit of elocution lessons though, to be honest with you, because I think your P's and Q's are brutal at times. Papa, that's all the questions, lads. Papa, tell me this. Tell the people about Sunday night.
Wow, it was epic, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in Ballymurphy that thought I was, I don't know, but I think they liked me more before I went down.
I'd say they're good to your character now.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be, yeah. And I'll tell you, Podge, to the people who organised it, they did a right job and they made us feel welcome in the first minute. And it was a brilliant night. It was a 25-year anniversary, and I think Thomas Dyle told me that there was 177 tickets sold and 175 to show up, which is remarkable. So it's been a great show.
Great show, massive show, and thanks very much for having us down there. We really appreciate it. It was our first one, and hopefully it won't be our last one.
No,
I really enjoyed it anyway. Also, Ballymurphy and our 13s are playing in the last 32 against Edenderry Town in Ballymurphy. So best luck to them.
Lovely.
Alan, thanks so much for coming on.
No bother.
Genuinely appreciate it. Poppy Van Frown.
No, look, I know Alan a long time from the Blues and playing soccer with my dad. He's super player, great lad. Obviously a great coach with the girls and all that. And
great coach.
That achievement with the Gaynor Cup, I wish it was on the front of or the side of the post office down there in Burn Street. Everybody could see it. Honest to God, I really do, because that is a remarkable achievement, and you should hold yourself in high esteem because you're well respected in Carlow League, and fair play to you. But
it's the girls that won it.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're the boss, though.
Absolutely. Look, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. I think your story is fantastic. Brilliant. I think and the one thing that struck me, it didn't strike me when I was kind of preparing it, but it struck me when you were speaking, that you're the first of to go to Dublin, the first of to get into Ireland. A lad from this area, right? I think that's massive. I think it's something you can't really measure. So I think your story is excellent. Lads, for the support, everyone, thanks so much for the support. We're starting to get negative feedback now, which I think means we're doing well. Doesn't it? We have a TikTok account now as well. So the comments on that are fantastic. Someone that told us to sell the podcast equipment a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, maybe he's right. I don't know. So I think that's a good sign. But look, I don't know who he was. Not sure. They don't have a face. User 374215. Oh, yeah. He had a picture of a German Shepherd as his profile.
That's your man of Transformers.
The Buy Me a Coffee still going, lads. Jump in and support us. Keeps us going. And thanks so much for the support. Continued support is great. If you could follow the TikTok page, if you could subscribe to the fucking YouTube page, that'd be absolutely outstanding. We're going to do a giveaway next week, a free giveaway for subscribers, Papa. Just subscribe to the page. We'll announce it all next week.
Yep.
I don't know what the prize is, but it's going to be a worstly €25 book voucher or something. Anyway, lads, as always,
vouchers.
It's not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
It's Carlow Soccer's podcast. It's your podcast. Thanks very much and good luck.
Good stuff, yeah. Brilliant.
Brilliant, Alan.
Thanks, Al. Deadly, man.
Really good.
Very good.
That's full time on this episode of the How Is He podcast. Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. For more information, contact Shane@currasports.com or check out their website, currasports.com.